And welcome to Darlin Stadium this Friday night for the WHCS Channel 46 Sports pregame show, sponsored by Hampton Chevrolet Jeep Mazda, located in the Coliseum Central Business Improvement District on Mercury Boulevard. I'm Ross Carney, and we're here to bring you tonight the Eastern Regional Championship between the #1 seeded and #1 ranked in the state of Virginia, Phantoms of Phoebus, against the #7 seed, Indian River. I see that Brent has Coach Cadillac Harris from Indian River, so we're going to send it over him for the coach's interview.
Thanks again. Here we are with Coach Harris. Cadillac Harris, what a name for football, Coach. I've been watching you a long time when I get to travel across the river, but let's tell these people a little bit about you. Been coaching 28 years. Correct. Where did you start out coaching?
Well, I started out at my alma mater, which is Kentsville High School. I came back from Norfolk State after I graduated from Norfolk State. I went back to my high school for 1 year, and then I opened up Green Run High School in 1979 as a defensive coordinator and was there until 1995. I became the head coach there in 1988, coached football and track, and stayed there until 95, and then in 95 I went to Elizabeth City State as the head football coach, and then from Elizabeth City State to Maury High School, and then from Maury High School, that's right, and then from Maury High School to Indian River High School, and I've been there ever since.
Well, when you took over Indian River, it was 2002 or 2003. They were 0-10 or something the year before, right?
That's correct.
And you turned it around. I think you went 4-6 the next year, and from there on, here you are in the playoffs. Of course, you're one of the few teams that's had the pleasure of beating both Hampton and Phoebus. That's got to be a little bit of distinction for you on that side.
Well, that is a great contribution to our kids and to our coaching staff and that community that believes in us, and I just thank God for those victories. It was just wonderful.
Well, let's talk about tonight's game. Let's tell these people a little bit about your two main runners, and that's Bethea and Mike.
Quentin Mike is a 4'3" guy, very fast. He's tougher than what his size might indicate. He can run inside and out, and he's just a special athlete. And Coach Dominic Bethea he reminds me of Brandon Orr, and I'm hoping that he'll have a Brandon Orr type night like we did in 2003.
Yeah, Brandon Orr made a difference here in 2003, I remember. But Bethea's about 205, am I right?
That's correct, and he's more similar to Brandon in his running style. He's physical, and hopefully he'll bring that ingredient tonight.
And tell us a little bit about your quarterback, Garrett, if you will.
Reggie Garrett is a young man who always played defensive back, wide receiver. He's just been multi-talented. And we wanted someone that could manage our offense. And then Drayvon Patilio, who was a quarterback the year before, who had thrown for over 1,000 yards, and people thought I was crazy at the time when I moved him to wide receiver. But he made a big play last week, and every week he's been, anytime we step in the stadium, I think he's going to be one of the top 5 players. So he's somebody you got to watch out for.
So he's a great athlete, and you also have a wide receiver that's about 6'5". Well, let me ask you one last question. Normal Peninsula team, tell us what you expect to see in Phoebus tonight and what you have to do to make this game yours.
Well, one of the things is they're going to be physical, and we pride ourselves in being physical as well. So they're going to be physical with a 1,500-yard rusher and a 1,700-yard passer. That normally is not what you see in a Peninsula team. Normally they're top-heavy in one area or the other. So the balance concerns us. But we feel like we have good, skilled kids and can match up with them. I love my defensive ends and the way they can play. I just think that we're going to be able to get pressure on the quarterback, and it's going to be an exciting football game.
Well, you use your ends a little different. You send your ends a lot more than some teams do to put that pressure on. Coach, I want to thank you so much for taking the time to come over here and talk with us. Thank you. And look forward to seeing you again. Right, thanks again. Okay, Ross, back over to you, buddy.
All right, thanks, Brent. Greatly appreciate it. And while Brent goes ahead and tries to find Coach D and get an interview with him, I just want to remind everybody at home that the plan is with WHCS to follow the Phantoms as long as they continue to win all the way up to the state championship. Over this past week, there's been a lot of talk, especially from across the water from the Virginia Pilot, and if you've been online from the Indian River fans and players, that they really felt comfortable, if you will, about coming over here and playing Phoebus. But I can tell you from past experience, one thing you don't want to do is wake up a sleeping giant. I do see that Brent now has Coach D available, so we're going to send it back over to Brent. Here you go, Brent.
Thanks again, Ross. I'm here again with head coach Bill D. 27th year coaching, Coach. 227 victories, 75 losses. 12-0 this season, defended the Division V state championship. And here we are at Indian River coming in here tonight to play you. Team that started out, didn't look too great, ended up the last 7 games playing real strong. Can you compare this Indian River team to anybody we've seen or played?
Well, you know, they got some athletes, and they're pretty athletic, like a lot of the teams in the Peninsula District. You know, they're not big, but they're athletic. They play hard. They run to the ball. They played very good defense. They got athletes on offense. They run the ball. So, you know, they're like a lot of teams in this district. You know, very athletic and very aggressive.
Well, I want to change it just a little bit. I know we've talked about Taj before. Here we are in the playoffs. Now he's the experienced guy coming in here where you had running backs last year. What's his experience meant to this team as we've gotten this far?
Well, Taj has got confidence in the huddle. He keeps control of the huddle. You know, when things are tough, he keeps the troops behind him, and you know, he never panics. And when things go wrong, there's always going to be a little bit. You know, you're going to have some adversity during the game, and he knows how to handle that. And he knows how to keep them, you know, focused, and he keeps himself focused. And he's, you know, that leadership is, you know, very important, especially coming from the quarterback position.
One more thing, we've read a lot about Austin's knee. Can you tell us anything about that?
Yeah, it's just sore. You know, I mean, he's taken a lot of hits this year. You know, he always seems to be able to rise to the occasion on the Fridays. So I'm hoping he's got a couple more left in him.
Well, you just touched on this last question, but Indian River's defense, it seems to what has brought them along here the last 5, 6, 7 games. They've just seemed to improve. They haven't won by big scores. What do you see in their defense that we might be looking for?
Well, they're very aggressive. They blitz a lot. They do a lot of things, a lot of stunts and so forth. And they play a lot of man coverage, and you know, they just try to get pressure on you and try to pressure you into mistakes.
Well, Coach, I want to thank you so much for taking the time. Good luck. Gonna see you next week.
Okay.
Thanks again, Ross. Thanks, Ross. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Brent. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to take a short break, and when we get back, Brent's going to join me here on set, and we're going to go ahead and discuss a little bit about the Peninsula District, what we've seen this past season, and take a look at tonight's game on the WHCS High School pregame show sponsored by Hampton Chevrolet Jeep Mazda. We'll see you in 30 seconds.
Hampton Chevrolet Jeep Mazda, located on Mercury Boulevard in the heart of Coliseum Central, is proud to sponsor this week's Hampton City Schools pregame show. As a corporate sponsor, Billy Hobbs and Hampton Chevrolet Jeep Mazda have always stood side by side with the teachers, administration, and student athletes that make up the Hampton City School system. Hampton Chevrolet Jeep Mazda, working together with Hampton City Schools on creating a better community.
Than we can. Hampton Mazda land.
And welcome back. And as you can see, I've got Brent here who's joined me on set as we come to the end of this regional finals. It's been a long final since we've had one more game this year. What have you found out when doing your background research on Indian River and talking to Coach Cadillac, as I like to call him? What have you found that maybe our audience needs to look for tonight on the Indian River side?
Well, first of all, let me say Coach Harris was quite a gentleman. We had a great time talking on the phone 2 or 3 times. He's got such a great outlook on life. Really enjoyed spending the time with him. But as far as talking about this Indian River team, it's like Coach D said. They're quick to the ball. They use their ends a little different than some other teams. They'll be sending somebody all the time to try to put pressure. From what I understand, they like to try to come from the backside. And that's something that Phoebus is going to have to be conscious of. They want to put pressure on Boyd, make him have to hurry up, not have the time to throw the pass. Their offense has been okay. You know, they seem to be able to pull out a 6-point win or 20-9, maybe a few turnovers. They've got some great athletes. They've turned out some really good ones over the past, Plexico, Burris, Weber, and I've been told that they're number 7 here tonight to watch him. He's the next Plexico. So Indian River's just going to be a team you just can't guess. You know, you're looking at the scoreboard. They've just 7 home away game wins in a row. That's tough remarkable. To say right there. It is. So, yeah, Indian River's going to be tough.
Well, the last time these two teams faced, it started out like this. We're here on a cold evening, and all of a sudden it turned into a torrential downpour. And, in fact, Indian River at that time, if I'm not mistaken, had the awesome running back that's at Virginia Tech right now, Brandon Orr. This year, or this time around, it seems like Phoebus has the 2-headed monster. Like you said, as far as passing, bringing ends, but they also have to contend with Mr. Allstott in the backfield, who's gained over 1,500 yards this season. What do you see Phoebus will have to do to counteract what Indian River's going to do with their defensive ends?
The best thing Phoebus can do is what he's done the last 2 playoff games, and that's keep them off the field. Their defensive team is like Hampton in a way, and they're not real heavy. They're running about 218 they got a couple of big guys on the field, but when you average it out, they're about 218 across the front. And as we've seen with Bill D teams this year, come to third and fourth quarter, his size and his discipline is going to be wearing you down. Yeah. And he's going to have to try to keep their defense on the field as much as possible. And that's a control game.
I agree. I think another key to tonight's game is, and I think the audience at home should really look for this, is to watch the offensive line, how they come off the ball in unison. It's one of the most poetic things you will see in a game of football, especially when they're moving as one and creating holes, especially what we've seen the last 2 weeks with against Warwick and Hampton in those victories, that eventually, like you said, as time went on, the holes became big enough for 3 or 4 players to run through, and the defense for the other team, you could tell, was really stressed out. They were tired. They had been on the field a long time, and that seemed to wear them down. You're exactly right.
And another thing that Cadillac does that's a little different, he lists not only 2 cornerbacks but 2 safeties, and he'll be sending one of them up to the line to either fake it or just keep coming. So he's all the time trying to make the offense look for where they've got to pick somebody up.
Exactly. And I think where the edge then would come, Cadillac is a great coach, and if you look at his resume as he's explained during his interview, there always seems to be on a Coach D's team, they're able to go in and make adjustments. I think in any football game, high school, college, pee-wee football, or in the pros, if you can go in and make adjustments to what you have seen in the first half and then come out and dominate and capitalize on those adjustments, that usually is the one who wins the game. Don't you agree?
Oh, absolutely. We talked about that in the Hampton-Phoebus game, but we thought they were probably the 2 best adjusting coaches we've ever seen at halftime.
That's right.
And now Bill D's still here in the playoffs, and I think Cadillac knows that. He's played him before, and he's watched Peninsula District teams, and if he is successful in the first half, he's going to have to worry about what Bill D does at halftime.
I agree. One thing is for sure, I think this is going to be an exciting game. I think these 2 teams are not here by accident. I think that Indian River, deserves to be here. They beat Lake Taylor. They turned around and beat Green Run. Lake Taylor for them was kind of like the Phoebus-Hampton game. They played each other during the regular season, and then they had to face one another again during the playoffs. So these 2 teams seem to have traveled down the same road, but maybe from a different direction, I would say.
Well, I got to admit one thing. Indian River's moved up to number 2. They've knocked off 3 and 2. And now they're facing number 1. So they've worked hard to get where they are. So it's a good athletic team. It's going to be a great game.
That's exactly right. Now let's shift gears a little bit. This year we've done a lot of Peninsula District games. The citizens in Hampton, as we have heard from them, that they have really enjoyed watching the games and the broadcasts that we have provided. And we really need to give our school board and our superintendent, and especially our boss, Scotty Bowers, all the credit in the world for getting the crew out here and the work that they've done. If you look back this year, and you get your pick and then I'll take mine, which game would you say was the best game that we televised here during the season?
No doubt in my mind, I think it was the first game where Bethel surprised everybody with their ability after the seasons they've had before to come out here and almost take Phoebus and lose it in the last minute to a field goal from a real great kicker who's already won several games for Phoebus. So to me, that was a game that really stated the season for something else to look at, not just Hampton-Phoebus. Hey, there's a new kid on the block. Pay attention.
I agree. And I kind of sit back at times and think, what if they had faced later on in October? What would have happened then? Could have been a different story. We could have had a higher scoring game. Who knows? But that really put Bethel on the map that night when they stayed with Phoebus the entire game. And Phoebus once again had to come through with their field goal kicker. Who would you give offensive player to?
Of the year?
Of the year.
In all honesty, right now, I would probably go with Taj Boyd because he's brought the experience in here and he's got an undefeated team around him. He had a new running back. Nobody, as it was said, nobody knew where he was going to come from and how he was going to do. Coach D was able to fit him right into the system, and Taj has maintained and even grown into his junior year from a state championship. Right now, I'd go with Boyd.
I would have to say the same thing. And quickly, I would have to say McMillan for Phoebus. As far as defense goes, I think he's done a great job. Well, we're going to hurry this up and wrap it up because guess what? The Eastern Region Championship game is on its way. We're getting ready to bring it to you from Darling Stadium this Friday night. We're going to send it up to our buddies in the booth, Paul Rowe and Mike Hauser. So, guys, take it away, and we'll see you next week, hopefully.
And welcome back to Darling Stadium here. Eastern Region Championship contest between the Phoebus Phantoms and the Indian River Braves. Mike Hauser along with Paul Rowe, Brent Musgrove, Bob Killen, and down on the field again tonight, Ross Carney, who he will be taking care of our announcing down on the sidelines, and what a great job he does. Tonight's game, the Eastern Region Championship between the upstart Braves from Indian River, a team that really struggled early on and has come on strong, knocking off the number 2 and the number 3 seeds in the region. And pretty decent defensively. They've done a great job holding the last 2 opponents to no touchdowns.
Yeah, they've been a surprise of the area, Mike, and we're going to see tonight how well they're going to do against one of the most powerful offenses around, as you mentioned, Indian River with the tight defense coming on strong in the last part of the year here. But they're coming up against an offense like they've never played before, so we'll see what happens. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is WHCS Channel 46 Sports. We are bringing you the game tonight from Darling Stadium. And fortunately, we have lots of sponsors that are allowing us to bring this game to you tonight. And so right now, we're going to run the clip showing you all of our sponsors for tonight's game, ladies and gentlemen. Here they are. Tonight's sponsors are Zooms. We're proud to have David Allen and Zooms supporting student athletes again this year. Zooms with locations throughout the peninsula to serve you. And by Kelly's Tavern, family dining with 2 locations on the peninsula. Port Warwick off Jefferson Avenue in Newport News and their newest location on Coliseum Drive in Mercury Boulevard in Hampton. Also by Tidewater Team Sports. Located at 11839B Cannon Boulevard in Oyster Point, Newport News, Tidewater Team Sports is your one-stop sports headquarters for screen printing, embroidery, uniforms, and apparel. Call 594-0411 and talk to David Chubb or Terry McNamara. And by Solar Lighting of Virginia. It's the dawn of a new day lighting system. Experience the sun in a whole new light with breakthrough technology for higher performance in lighting. A daylighting miracle in just 2 hours. Brighter, smarter, and better. Call Solar Lighting of Virginia at 800-774-7865 or visit them on the web at www.solarlightingva.com. Mention WHCS and you'll receive a discount. By Old Point National Bank. For more than 20 years, Old Point has helped keep the score shining at Darling Stadium. And now we're happy to purchase new scoreboards that will keep another generation of fans informed. Old Point National Bank, proudly serving the needs of Hampton Roads since 1923. And by Hampton Chevrolet Jeep Mazda, located on Mercury Boulevard in the heart of Coliseum Central. For your next automotive purchase, call Hampton Chevrolet Jeep Mazda at 838-5450. And by Jack's Family Restaurant, located on the corner of Pembroke Avenue and Woodland Road, Jack's is a local family favorite. By Affordable Mortgage. Give Lee Moore, the senior loan officer, a call at 873-0663 for all your mortgage needs at Affordable Mortgage. By Abbott Realty. Contact Perry Pilgrim or any of the agents at Abbott Realty by calling 827-1364 Abbott Realty. by Hampton's Commissioner of Revenue, Ross Mugler, and Hampton City Treasurer, Molly Joseph Ward, proud to be sponsors of Hampton City Schools student athletes. And by Anna's Italian Restaurant, with 2 locations to choose from, one on Settlers Landing Road in downtown Hampton, and the original location at Pembroke Avenue in Buckrow Shopping Center. And in part tonight by Eric Thompson, Realtor of William E. Wood. Call Eric to buy or sell a home or property. Give Eric a call at 685-3127, 217-3951, or 881-2004. And by Park Lawn Wood Funeral Home, located at 2551 North Armstead Avenue. Nancy Staten, Director. Mike, those are our sponsors for tonight's game. We'd like once again to thank all of our sponsors. We appreciate it. Without them, a lot of these telecasts would be a little bit harder to do. So we thank them, and we hope everyone will support our sponsors.
And hopefully after tonight, we'll be able to say that we're heading north next weekend, as the winner of this game will be taking on Stonebridge High School out of Loudoun County up in northern Virginia, as they defeated Thomas Edison by a score of 27-14.
Mike, here's tonight's referees for our game. Bill Dozier will be the referee. George Adamowski will be the umpire. Mick Hartzhelm, the lineman. Mike Mann, the line judge. John Deck, the side judge. Tony Brown, the field judge, and the back judge will be Scott Davis. And those referees are coming from the Peninsula District region.
Yep, they're locals. 27-14, Stonebridge defeated Thomas Edison earlier this afternoon in the Northern Region Final, and the winner of this game will travel to Loudoun County of Northern Virginia to play next Saturday afternoon in the first of 2 state semifinal games.
Now, Mike, Loudoun County, for those of the viewers that aren't quite familiar with that, in relation to Washington, maybe Fredericksburg, are we looking west of that, south of that?
You're looking at me here, buddy.
You're looking at me like, it's up north.
we are looking north of here. That's I know that it's up near the D.C. area.
So something like Fredericksburg, Stafford, and those areas.
There's a whole lot of areas up there. Yeah,
up north, like you said.
We're going to talk a little bit about Indian River. What a job they've done. They come in to play the Eastern Region tournament place with a 6-4 record, as the expanded playoff this year allowed a couple of extra teams to come in here and participate. And they come in as the number 7 seed, and they upset the number 2 seed by a score of 20-9 against Lake Taylor. Did not give up a touchdown in that game. There were 3 field goals. Then they took on Green Run last week in the semifinal game and won that game by a score of 6-0. So defensively, Indian River is for real. They got a lot of speed, and we'll see that tonight. So we're hoping that the Phantoms offense is going to be able to counteract a lot of that speed, and look out for some of their defensive safeties because they're tough.
They are. They're a very, very athletic club, as we heard earlier from Brent down on the field. Number 7, DeAndre White, who's a wide receiver, is very athletic. But on the defensive side, they've got kids that are just great athletes, as we see Coach D coming down the tarmac there. Or not tarmac, that's on an airfield, on the track, ready for the game today. But these athletes have really come on strong toward the end of the season. You alluded to the fact that in the last 2 games, they've really not allowed a touchdown, just simply field goals. It's a defense that bends, and then tightens up and won't let anybody do anything. Less than 100 yards per game total offense allowed in the last 2 games. This defense is going to be here tough. Now, Mike, they have nothing to lose. This is a number 7 seed. They beat a 10-0 team that was ranked 2nd. They beat Green Run,
who was 10-1, I believe, who was seeded 3rd.
And now they're here. Indian River is out there on the field. They have a great feeling about themselves. They're motivated. Again, they have nothing to lose. They're out there saying, let's leave it right here.
This has a lot of resemblance to a game that was played 4 years ago.
Be careful.
Yeah,
be careful.
4 years ago, and Phoebus went in there with a pretty tough team there with Lewis as the running back, and they went up against Indian River over at.
And what was Phoebus's record at that time?
I believe they were undefeated.
I believe they were undefeated too.
Yeah. And the running back that played for Indian River was none other than Brandon Orr, who is the starting tailback of Virginia Tech right now. Pretty good runner in that particular night, and like they talked about in the pregame, it was cold, and then it started raining, but by halftime it was raining so hard we up here in the booth were really having a hard time seeing the game. It just absolutely downpoured.
Yeah,
it was quite wet that night, I'll tell you. And right now, folks, it's quite cold here at Darling Stadium.
Trust me.
It has the bottom has dropped out after the last couple of days having temperatures in the 70s. As a matter of fact, I believe it was 78 yesterday.
We set a record, or tied a record.
It was unreal. I mean, here we are in Thanksgiving, and the temperature is like late spring, early summer weather. But then reality hit.
Yes, and today it's dropped.
And everybody says if you don't like the weather in the Tidewater area, just wait till the following day because it definitely will change. And this was a good resemblance to that.
But in reference to what you were alluding to earlier, Mike, that was 2003.
Yep.
This is 2007. This is a different Phoebus team. This is a balanced team. The team in 2003 was a running-oriented team. In fact, most of the Phoebus teams have been over the years running-oriented team. In fact,
well, you know,
the great team last year.
They talked a little bit early in the season about how they thought Phoebus was going to be able to adjust, losing the running backs that they did. Last year, the running backs that this team had were just absolutely outrageous, and that's what they were primarily known for as a running team. This year, they came in with a gentleman, young man, Mr. Alston, transferred in from Minchville. His own rights over at Minchville was a very good running back, but he did not have an offensive line that would complement it. When he started running this year for the Phantoms and they showed that they had the offensive line, he took off.
Yes, he did.
He ended up the number 3 or the number 4 running back in the district, over 1,000 yards. And the key to the Phantoms' offense this year was the fact that Taj Boyd grew. He grew into the system. He grew into the team. He ended up being a team leader at quarterback. And not only is he complements the running attack, not only handing the ball off, but running himself, but also his ability to throw the ball has really improved.
Little anecdote here, Mike. I was talking to one of the reporters from the Daily Press a little while ago, and he was telling me about a story. He was talking to a couple of fans from Indian River about the Phoebus team, and they said, well, you know, we feel pretty good about it. We're familiar with the program, and we know all we got to do is shut down the running team. And the reporter said, just shut doan the running? What about their passing game? And the guy said, well, they don't have a passing game. And the reporter said, you realize the quarterback threw for over 1,500 yards? And the Indian River fan says, 1,500? People forget about Taj Boyd.
Well,
they
that's
forget that this is a balanced attack.
Right. The average fan out there has known Phoebus for years as a running team, period. This year, the Phoenix Phantoms can throw the ball, and it's really made a difference. Let's go down to Bill Dozier and with the point toss.
Congratulations on getting to the regional final. Great season. Okay, 2 things I want you to take back to your team. So first is when the whistle sounds, it's over. You got a guy wrapped up in the whistle sounds, let him go. Don't stick him on his head, all right? If you running with the ball and the whistle sounds, ease up. Don't try to break it out. When you hit somebody, they know they've been hit. You don't have to get in their face and talk to them. I don't want any unsportsmanlike fouls, all right? Okay, guys, we had a pregame toss. Captain, you won the toss, and you'd like it to defer, correct? All right, Indian River has won the toss, and they will defer. Okay, Phoebus, you're going to be receiving, and you're going to be receiving at this end, right, Captain McMillan? Yeah. Okay, so put your backs around here. Okay, you come around here, Indian River.
Phoebus Phantoms will be receiving.
Bring them out, guys. Have a good ball.
All right, so just as soon as Andy can get them up there, we'll bring your starters for the Phoebus Phantoms on their offensive side. And then we will bring the starters on the defensive side for Indian River.
And here they are for the Phoebus offense. Number 64, tackle Andre Purnell, along with number 51, tackle Charlie Jones. The guards, number 50, Jaquan Hogan, and number 62, Dominique Davenport. At center, once again, number 55, Robbie Davis. The tight end, number 30, Demetrius Ward. And the split end, number 16, Germondo Tower. The wide receiver, keep your eyes on him, ladies and gentlemen, number 4, Reed Evans. The fullback, number 11, Darius McMillan. The go-to runner, the tailback, number 22, Sean Alston with 1,500 yards. And the quarterback, just a junior, number 10, Taj Boyd. That's a potent offense. There's Coach Bill D contemplating this game as he gets ready to send his Phantoms out for the regional championship. Mike, it's a cold night.
Yes,
we've got
is.
a full moon, and we've got a team from Indian River that sets up defensively like this. Number 57, Matt Davis at tackle. Number 52, Terrence Pugh at defensive end. And number 80, Frank Clemens at defensive end. The linebackers, inside linebacker, number 3, Jarrell Sneed. And number 4, Dominique Buffet. On the outside, number 16, Antonio Brown. And number 24, Travon Scales. The cornerbacks, number 19, Donald Smith, along with number 25, Van Dyke Jones. And the safety, number 5, Trayvon
Reed Evans on to carry as he fumbled the ball, and luckily one of the Phantoms, and I believe the one running ended up getting the ball was Markel Wilkins. But there's the opening kickoff as the Phantoms will start first and 10.
All right, we'll finish up the lineup here for you. Number 25, Van Dyke Jones, the quarterback. Number 5, Drayvon Potilio at safety. And number 10, Reggie Garrett at safety. Trying to squeeze those in before that last kickoff. Didn't quite get it. There you see some of the cold crowd from the Phoebus Phantoms out here supporting high school football in this cold, cold, cold evening.
First and 10 from the Phantoms 23-yard line. Taj Boyd under center. The keeper up the middle. Going to pick up about 6, maybe 5 yards. They're going to pull it back a yard as he gets it outside to the Phantom 27-yard line. That'll be a gain of about 5 on the play.
What a smart play to start with, Mike. If you listen to Brent in his interview prior to the game, Indian River sends the ends. You can see him concentrating on the backfield. They're looking for Alston to run the ball, and Taj, he messes everybody up, takes it himself right up the middle for a few yards. Great
Second
play.
down and 5 for the Phantoms at their own 27. Hands the ball off to Alston, straight up the middle. Picks up a yard to the 28.
Indian River's number 52, Terrence Pugh, outside linebacker, making the stop on that play. This is the type of play you're going to see quite a bit here. Sean Alston off the left-hand side. He's in there following the blocks of Charlie Jones and Dominique Davenport, just looking for a few yards, trying to see what he can find. He'll look for the seam, eventually get it and go.
Third down and long here for the Phantoms. Boyd back to pass, a little flare pass out here to Darius McMillan, all the way outside the 30, near the 35-yard line. That's going to be a pickup of about 6 yards, and it's going to be good for a Phantom first down at their own 35-yard line.
Mike, we're doing everything here today. The Taj Boyd run, the Sean Alston run, the pass. Phoebus has showed them everything you've got. Ladies and gentlemen, this first down is brought to you by Old Point National Bank. For more than 20 years, Old Point has helped keep the score shining at Darling Stadium, and now they're happy to have purchased new scoreboards that will keep another generation of fans informed. Old Point National Bank, proudly serving the needs of Henton Road since 1923.
Alston up the middle to the 40, outside the 40 to about the 41-yard line. A 6-yard pickup for the Phantoms. That's going to bring up a second down and 4 at the 41-yard line.
This time, Sean Alston goes off the right-hand side. As you'll watch this replay, he's following Jaquan Hogan along with Andre Purnell this time for another pickup. So Phoebus kind of showing everything right here in their bag of tricks, finding out what's going to work, going up against a tough Indian River defense.
A lot of speed on that defensive side. Here we go, second down.
Looks like got a blitz coming. Here it comes.
There's a handoff to Alston. Scoots to the outside a little bit there and picks up about 3 yards to the 39-yard line. He's going to be about a yard shy of the first down.
Look at the middle of your screen. You see the blitz coming there from the top of your screen. They pick him up. Alston's able to get a few yards on that. That's a great pickup by the Phoebus offensive line.
So number 52 on the stop for Indian River, that's Terrence Pugh. It'll be about a half a yard shy of a first down. This, we'll call it third down and 1.
It's almost a yard.
So as they stop play here to adjust the clock, Looks like they want to put 9:32 up there.
There we go.
And there it is our clock operator did a good job.
Bank-sponsored scoreboards.
Third down and about a foot. Taj Boyd up the middle, and he probably has enough to get the first down. If they set the ball down at the 45, that should be enough to get the first down. Then we're probably going to give him about a yard and a first down.
So they've given him the first down. Watch Taj Boyd here. He just follows the surge of the line right through. Good pilot by the Indian River defense, but not enough to stop him as Taj Boyd gets a first down. And ladies and gentlemen, that's another Old Point National Bank first down for the Phoebus Phantoms. As you see again, a nice picture of the crowd. As cold as it is, Mike, look how these people have come out here to support the Phoebus Phantoms. I mean, to me, it's freezing out there.
It's cold. There's Alston off the right side. He get around the side there, and he gets past midfield. And it looks like they're going to mark him out near the 40, I guess the 49. That's clean across the other side of the field. They're going to mark him past the 49, down near the 48.
Good lateral pursuit by the Indian River defense that keep him boxed in, but Alston is able to slip that last tackle and pick up a few yards there. Ross, what have you got for us on that, buddy?
Hey, guys, considering that we've had, 4 games played on this field, once again, we've got to tip our hats to the grounds crew. They've done a great job walking out here on the field before the game started. The middle has really hardened up. There's no holes, there's no muddiness, and they've really decorated well for the Phoebus Phantoms. We need to tip our hats.
Absolutely. We'll talk about that crew here shortly. It's one of the things we wanted to discuss, how the crew here has done such a great job on this field, especially with the markings.
Oh, yeah.
Painted Phoebus in the end zone. Down at the other end zone, it's got the Phantoms in there painted.
Here's that last play as we see Alston getting a few yards again as he continues to get positive yardage. And there's what Mike was talking about, folks. There you see the Phoebus colors, blue and gold, down on the field. And later on throughout the game, you'll see it. They've got these footballs all the way around. They've got the word Phoebus in one end zone, Phantoms in the other. They've got the blue and gold and white stripes. It's just great.
3rd and 1. They need to get to the 45, and not only to the 45, but much more, as that was Darius McMillan on the carry. He'll get the ball down to about the 38-yard line. He fumbled the ball, but the ball had already been down at that point. That's a good gain now and a first down.
Here's the replay as McMillan gets that ball. He gets a great block there on the left-hand side, opens the hole, and he just picks up some yardage. So once again, here we are again, another
Old Point National Bank.
Another Old Point National Bank first down.
1st and 10 from the Indian River 38. Alston up the middle, and he gets to the 35-yard line as he is taken down by the number 4, Dominic Bethea, and also number 25, Jones, Van Dyke Jones.
It's a good stop by the Indian River defense. Watch this tackle here, and I believe you said it was number 4. Is that who that was, Mike?
Yeah,
number 4, Dominique Bethea made a great stop on Alston. But again, Alston picking up positive yardage.
3-yard gain on that play. That'll bring up 2nd down and 7 for the Phantoms. Ball sits at the Indian River 35-yard line here early in the first quarter. No score. 7:05 to go. Back to pass is completed to Reed Evans. He breaks 2 tackles right there and gets all the way down inside the 25 down to about the 24. What a play. He broke 2 or 3 tackles after he caught it, spun out, did a good job.
I'm sorry I'm laughing, ladies and gentlemen. I'm laughing because Mike and I sit up here and watch this young man game after game, and he just amazes us every time he plays. This is you shouldn't throw this ball, number 1. But Reed Evans makes the catch, and not only makes the catch, he turns another 7 yards out of that play.
Well, let's give the quarterback, Taj Boyd, a little bit of credit as he put the ball right in the breadbasket.
Of course.
1st and 10 from the 24-yard line of Indian River. Looks like the Phantoms have a little mix-up and called timeout here. So with timeout here in the first quarter, 6:39 to go as the Phantoms have the opening drive. No score here at Darla Stadium. Eastern Region Championship. What you got down there for us, Ross?
Hey, guys, as Brent and I were talking about in the pregame show, we wanted to point out, and we pointed out to the audience, to look at the offensive line for Phoebus. Once again, they've gone on this long, sustaining drive, even though it's not over with, but they have come off the ball in unison. They're creating holes. I think this is something Indian River has not faced in their last 2 playoff games, and it's going to be interesting to see how Indian River adjusts to what Phoebus is doing right now.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about that in our opening here. Indian River has not seen a team of the caliber of Phoebus at all. They played a team that was 10-0, and they played a team that was 10-1. Obviously, looking at the scores of that game, their defense can play. So it's going to be just see how Phoebus's offense takes care of that.
Well, they can play. There's no question about that. But you and I know Phoebus can play. And
That's right.
When you've got guys like Charlie Jones on left tackle and Dominique Davenport at left tackle, Andre Purnell at right tackle, Jaquan Hogan at right guard, and Robbie Davis at center, you get these big guys blocking for you. And like Ross said, they're coming off the line quick. They're blowing that line back. You give Sean Austin, you give McMillan, you give Boyd 2 steps like that, they're going to get yardage every time. Every time. So that's why they're undefeated.
That's right. Here's Austin on give. He's hit about a yard behind the line of scrimmage and fights his way back to the original line of scrimmage as the Indian River Braves number 16, Antonio Brown, on the stop. No gain, back to the line of scrimmage.
Looks like he was initially hit by number 4, Dominique Bethay of Indian River. Yep. That's the first time they didn't pick up any yardage.
2nd down and 10 as he was able to get back to the original line of scrimmage.
And Mike, how many minutes in a quarter?
12
minutes. And we're already halfway through this quarter.
Through the first quarter.
And Phoebus is the only one that's had the ball.
That's called ball control. We saw that a lot last week against Hampton. That was an ill-advised pass. I believe it was originally intended for Reed Evans, who looked to be wide open, but it was thrown more towards the center of the field.
Yeah, that's a rarity that you'll see this.
And that's a pass that
Reed Evans is going one way and the pass is going another. Now, I don't know what happened here, but Reed's going out to the post almost, and the pass is coming inside.
He, if the ball had been thrown a little bit more to the corner of the end zone, it might have been a little bit more successful.
Right. And don't think Reed's not telling him that in the huddle either.
So incomplete pass brings up 3rd down and 10 now for the Phantoms.
Reed
ball still sits at the 24. Back to pass is setting up a screen over the middle. This is Evans, number 4. And nice defensive play. A little bit of a late hit there, but defensive on the play was Dominique Bethea for Indian River as the ball is brought down at about the 18-yard line.
Now, watch this, ladies and gentlemen. Reed Evans coming off the field a little wobbly there on this play. It's just a simple screen to Evans all by himself, uses the referee, and then he's hit right here and driven to the ground. Ooh, just a little bit of what I thought was a late hit there.
So coming into try, that was a 6-yard gain, by the way. It's 4th and 4. Into try field goal, Matt Cole, number 95. Looks to be about a 35-yarder as the ball is going to be set down at the 25. He gets it away, and it's a wobbly kick, and it is no good, wide to the left.
And it looked, Mike, like it was almost blocked there.
Yeah, line drive type of kick, no good as Indian River holds and will take over at their own 20.
Let's see this again. Just for grins, I want to look here at the bottom because Matt Cole usually gets a good kick. Look at that jump. I think he got a little bit of it right there. I think that was partially blocked. I might be wrong, but would it count? It could account for the wobbliness of the ball.
So Indian River takes over here 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. Their quarterback is Reggie Garrett, number 10.
True to form, their defense gives, but it doesn't let anybody score.
Garrett, a little flare pass out, I believe is number 5, Dravon. Is it Potilio?
Dravon Potilio. That is correct. Potilio.
It's complete. Looks like they gained about 7.
Here is the offense for Indian River. Number 73, Jarius Spain is at center. Number 58, Brandon Allen at guard, along with number 62, Devin Garnes. The tackles, number 77, Ryan Rowe, and number 52, Terrence Pugh. Wide receiver, number 5, Drayvon Patilio, and number 7, DeAndre White. The other wide receiver, number 16, Antonio Brown. The fullback, number 28, Quentin Mike. Tailback, number 4, Dominique Bethea. And Reggie Garrett, the quarterback, number 10.
Garrett hands the ball to the up back, number 3, Jarrell Sneed. He may have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, a half a yard gain at most, and that will bring up a 3rd down and long 2 for Indian River.
Submarining that pile there, number 51, Charlie Jones at tackle. Piling up the runner there.
Looks like third down and a yard. He'll pick up a little over a yard on the play as the ball sits at the Indian River 29-yard line. This time it's handed off to the tailback, number 4, Dominique Bethea, and he's close to a 1st down. He has to get to the 30 to get the 1st down.
All right, here is the Phoebus Phantoms defense. Number 74, Charlie Jones. He's wearing number 51 tonight. Number 62, Dominique Davenport at tackle. Number 7, Daquan Romero at defensive end, along with number 28, Romeo Deloach at end. The linebackers, number 11, Darius McMillan, and number 35, Levante Battle on the inside. The outside backers, number 25, Chaz Robinson, and number 38, Colby Goodwin. Cornerbacks, number 4, Reed Evans, and number 5, Markel Wilkins, and the safety, number 8, Nathaniel Motley. And like I said, ladies and gentlemen, we had a late change. We weren't able to get in, but Charlie Jones is wearing number 51 tonight rather than number 74.
1st down for Indian River, as he just did get enough for the 1st down. Little flare pass out to the flat, intended for number 7, White, is incomplete. And that looks like on the defense was Markel Wilkins, number 5, for the Phantoms.
Here you see that quick pass.
pass.
That just looked like it was pushed rather than thrown.
Incomplete pass brings up 2nd down and 10 from the 30.
And Mike, I forgot to remind you that last 1st down was brought to you by Old Point National Bank, proudly serving the needs of Hampton Road since 1923.
2nd down and 10 from the 30. Garrett under center. Pitches back to the tailback, that is Bethea. And what a play. Trying to stretch it out a little bit as the Phantoms were able to hold him to about a 2-yard pickup.
Watch this guy come across here and just stop him. Levante Battle along with, I couldn't see that last number there. It looked like number 25, Chaz Robinson, the other linebacker.
Yes, it was.
Great pursuit. Ross, you got something for us down there.
Yeah, guys, if you notice, they have shifted number 7 in for Indian River, White, over to the opposite side of Reed Evans. They were over here on his side at first, and now they've gone back to the opposite side, and now he's back on this side where Reed is, but Phoebus is in a different defense.
Keep your eye on those two guys, ladies and gentlemen, because they're going to have a battle all night long.
Back to pass is Garrett, and it looks like it was deflected by the Phantoms, number 25, who was Chaz Robinson, and that pass goes incomplete, and that's going to bring up a 4th down and 8, as the pass wasn't really anywhere near on target.
No, Reggie Garrett, I'm not sure. I think he was trying to throw it to, well, I guess that young man there that's fallen down is who he's trying to throw it to. He was about 10 yards away.
Reed Evans back deep for Phantoms. And the punt is to the near side and gets a Indian River bounce, but goes out of bounds at the Phantoms 38-yard line. This is where the Phoebus Phantoms will take over 1st and 10 as we have 2:54 to go here in the 1st quarter. No score. There's a shot of Taj Boyd and Coach Bill D.
Taj Boyd, the junior. Folks, you're going to see him next year. I mean, that's... What is he going to do for an encore here?
Well, yeah, he's an excellent quarterback, and he is really the difference between Taj Boyd this year and last year is monumental.
Oh, tell me.
He went to a lot of camps during the off season that helped his throwing ability.
He has just really stepped up, Mike, mentally and physically. The coaching staff has put 100% trust in this young man, and he has come forward.
Ball was handed off to the Phantoms, number 11, Darius McMillan. He's going to get outside the 40, pickup of about 3 on the play.
As you watch this replay, ladies and gentlemen, remember you're watching WHCS Channel 46 Sports, bringing you the regional championship from Darling Stadium. It is November 23rd, the day after Thanksgiving, and it's cold.
Second down and a long 7 now for the Phantoms outside of their own 40, close to the 41.
So far, the Phantoms have shown good ball control, excellent defense. They're looking good, Mike.
Sean Alston on the carry. A nice little sidestep there. He picks up about, about 9 yards on the play as he gets near midfield. And that's going to be good for a Phantoms first down.
And here's Sean Alston as he picks up another Old Point National Bank first down. Here he is. Once he starts this, Mike, we know what's going to happen now. He's beginning to feel comfortable. His blockers are beginning to realize that they've got the advantage. They're going to open the holes. He's beginning to look as the clock winds down to 1:40 left in the first quarter.
First and 10 right at midfield. Here's Alston again. Nice blocking up front. Look at that hole that he ran through. 8 yards on the play down to the Indian River 42-yard line. Second down and 2 for the Phantoms.
Here it comes, ladies and gentlemen. Charlie Jones on the left side along with Dominique Davenport opening that hole up, and Sean Alston is getting that confidence now. He knows they're open.
What you got down there for us, Ross?
Hey, guys, if you notice those last 2 plays after the first drive of Phoebus is running these quick traps up the middle, which is counteracting those defensive tackles and ends that are coming in so quickly.
It's working beautifully so far.
Second down and 10. 2 wide outs to the far side. Again, Alston, follows his block and gets inside the 40 down to the 38. Gain of about 4 on the play. That's good for another Phantom first down.
Alston doing it. Alston doing it. Run, run, run. Watch him get behind the blocks on the right side there. He finds that hole. He's riding the back of number 62, Dominique Davenport, who pulled on that, came across. He follows him back, goes off his right side. Yardage. I love it. I love watching this.
Tell you what, if there was any player on that field that I would want to be able to follow behind, that is definitely Dominique Davenport. That's right.
Baby D.
There's a handoff to McMillan up front. He is the lead back, and he's going to pick up maybe a 2. He'll be short of the 36. Let's give him a pickup of about 1.5 yards on the play.
A nice straight play right off the side of the center.
Number 56, Randolph Shadley, on the stop for Indian River. As we have arrived here at the end of the first quarter of play here in the Eastern Region Championship game between the Phoebus Phantoms and the Indian River Braves. No score here after 1 quarter of play.
You're watching WHCS Channel 46 Sports, the Indian River Braves and the Phoebus Phantoms in the regional championship. I'm Paul Rowe along with Mike Hauser, up in the booth with Brent Musgrove and Bob Killen, and on the field, Ross Carney III. Mike, the second quarter is going to be sponsored by, are you ready for this?
Go for it.
All right. We're sponsored by Zooms with locations throughout the peninsula to serve you, and by Kelly's Tavern with locations at Port Warwick and on Coliseum Drive at Mercury Boulevard, by Tidewater Team Sports on Cannon Boulevard in Oyster Point, Newport News, by Solar Lighting of Virginia. Call Solar Lighting at 800-774-7865. By Old Point National Bank, serving the peninsula since 1923. By Hampton Chevrolet Jeep Mazda, located in the heart of Coliseum Central. By Jack's Family Restaurant at the corner of Pembroke and Woodland Road. By Affordable Mortgage. By Abbott Realty. By Hampton's Commissioner of Revenue, Ross Mugler, and Hampton's City Treasurer, Molly Joseph Ward. And by Anna's Italian Restaurant. Those are our second quarter sponsors, and we thank them very, very much for sponsoring WHCS Channel 46 Sports and high school football. Look at Susan on the right-hand side.
Wait, Susan, so we know which one you are. There you go.
Look at the way she's got that muff wrapped around her.
I'll tell you what, if we were outside, we'd be dressed just like it.
What do you mean?
It's cold outside.
I'd be dressed like that in here if I could get it. I'll tell you, it's cold.
Second down, a long 8 now for the Phantoms as we get ready to start quarter number 2. Back to pass is Taj Boyd. Oh, what did
look at this.
Reed Evans did one whale of a job coming back to get that one. And now he's going to be forced out of bounds all the way down around the 19-yard line. When Taj Boyd threw that ball, I looked straight down the field. I knew who he was throwing to, and I watched Reed Evans come back 5 yards for the ball. What a job he did.
Look at this guy, 6 feet, 170-pound senior. Taj Boyd knows what he's doing. These guys have this connection that nobody else has. Evans comes back, good hands, comes to the ball, gets it, and then Mike runs all the way across the other end of the field.
He was all the way down inside the 20, did a button, and came back to the ball.
Man. And you
1st and 10 from the 19 here as the Phantoms now are in the red zone.
Evans out isolated here on this near side.
That's right. There's a handoff to Alston right up the middle. Scoots to the right, down inside the 10, near the 5-yard line. What a job he did that time. What a job the offensive line did keeping the blocks off.
Man, that offensive line just got out there and blew the Indian River defense off the line, off the blocks, as they say. Watch this. Boom. Nobody there. Alston hits the hole, goes outside. Reed Evans pulled his receiver out there, throws the block.
Pickup of about 14 on the play and a first down and goal.
And that's an Old Point National Bank first down.
Here's Alston following his blockers inside the 5, down near the 3-yard line.
All right, we've got Ross down in the end zone. Ross, what have you got for us?
Hey, guys, down here in the end zone, and they're really getting down to nitty-gritty, though. Indian River's really coming off the ball, stiffening up down here on this last play. But on that play you were talking about on the button hook with Reed Evans, when he actually came back, he split 2 defenders, caught that ball, and went across field with it in a matter of seconds. What a play.
What a great young speedster he is.
2nd down and goal. Alston again off the right side, and he's in for the score as the Phantoms have struck here early in the 2nd quarter and now lead Indian River 6-0. 3-yard gain for Mr. Alston.
And here's that scoring play as you see Taj Boyd just hand it off to Alston, and he goes over the right side into the end zone. Touchdown.
Matt Cole now out of the hold of Taj Boyd for the extra point attempt here to try to tack on that 7th point early here in the 2nd quarter. There's the kick. It's up. That's a much better looking kick than the field goal, and it is good. That looks like a Matt Cole kick there. So here early in the 2nd quarter, 10:49 to go before halftime. The Phoebus Phantoms are out in front of the Indian River Braves by a score of 7-0.
And we'll watch that last touchdown here as Alston once again just finds that end zone and goes right into it for the score. The first touchdown scored against the Indian River Braves in how long?
At least 3 weeks. Scoring drive, 10 plays, took 3 minutes and 55 seconds.
And the scoring drive statistics brought to you tonight by Jack's Family Restaurant, located at the corner of Pembroke Avenue and Woodland Road in the city of Hampton, where we have great football teams, great schools, great coaches. Here we go. Here's the Phoebus bench. You'll see the players around there. That's not who.
It's Matt Cole right
Matt
there.
Cole right there, isn't it? Yeah.
He's a pretty good sized young man, too.
He is. Well, let me see.
He
here.
really
What
has
is he,
grown the last couple of years.
Was he number 95? He's 6'2", 200 pounds. Look at that. Now, folks, just to show you how cold it is, look, 1, 2, 3, about 4 jackets plus a blanket on that young lady there.
It's cold here, folks.
Look at it. You guys will probably never see this, but I appreciate you guys being out there because it's cold. I'm in here where it's supposed to be warm, but you are out there, and we appreciate you supporting the Phoebus Phantoms tonight.
And Matt Cole sets up to kick off for the Phantoms after the touchdown. Number 7, White, is deep for Indian River, and that's who takes it at the 15-yard line. Back to the 25, and is tripped up by the Phantoms' number 27, Rashid Clark, as White gets the ball out to the 30-yard line, and that's where Indian River will start 1st and 10 from their own 30.
Nice tackle by Rashid Clark here. As you see, the runner gets about 5, 7, 10, 12 yards before he's tripped up.
It looked like he was tripped up by his feet.
Feet for a minute there, but then Rashid got in there and got the rest of it.
Here we go, 1st and 10 from the 30-yard line. Indian River now takes over after giving up the first touchdown of the playoffs
for them.
First touchdown they have given up in the playoffs. That's correct. Garrett behind center. Hands the ball off to the tailback. I believe that is number 25 or 28, Quentin Mike. That is a player we talked about earlier, and that is Quentin Mike. Unusual last name, named Mike.
Quentin Mike. Here you see him get the ball off the right-hand side.
Gain of about 4 on the play to about the 34-yard line. That's going to bring up second down and 6 for the Braves. That was Quentin Mike's first carry of the game. They talked about his deceptive speed. Cadillac Harris did that.
4.3 speed, they said that young man has. Not shabby.
Garrett again under center. 3 wideouts, 2 to the near. There's a pitch play that is fumbled, and Mike has to fall on the ball, and they're going to lose about 6 yards on the play, all the way back just outside their own 28-yard line. Ross Carney down on the sideline. You got something for us, buddy?
Actually, I got a question for y'all up in the booth, since y'all are so nice and warm up there.
Right.
And just to let you know, we've decided that we're going to switch places with you guys at halftime. No decision made. Anyway, what we want to know is, what was the time of possession for Phoebus in the first quarter and going into the second quarter? It seemed like they had the ball the entire time.
With the exception of about 2 minutes, Phoebus had the ball. Just about the entire first quarter. Back to pass is Garrett. Over the middle, wide open. This one has a chance of being intercepted. It was intended for number 16. That was Antonio Brown, overthrown, almost intercepted by the Phantoms.
And Markel Wilkins got up there, number 5. I'm not so sure if he stayed back a step or two. He came in to try and make that interception. See him step in here. If he'd stayed back a little bit, he might have had a little bit better chance. But as it was, he was able to deflect the pass. Or deflect the pass.
So they are set up now to punt the ball. Reed Evans is back outside his own 35.
We get the referee to move there. You can see Reed Evans. We'll keep your eyes on him.
Number 19 is Donald Smith. He is time of possession in the first quarter, 8 minutes and 39 seconds out of the 12. So that ought to answer your question there, Ross.
9:09 left in the half here at Darling Stadium with Phoebus ahead by a score of 7-0. You're watching WHCS Channel 46 Sports as we bring you the regional championship game.
Timeout is called by Indian River as they set up to punt the ball. Again, it looks like Donald Smith, number 19, will be punting the ball for the Braves, and back deep will be Reed Evans.
Before we end this second half, Mike, we talked about it earlier, we want to thank the Darling Stadium staff members, Larry Malloy, John Johnston, James Sykes, Brian Brendel, and Mike Smith for an outstanding job in keeping this facility tops in its class in the region. They've also done an outstanding job on field graphics by the field graphics engineer, John Johnston, on tonight's print display, which you'll see throughout the game.
So here we go, 4th down and 12. Snap, nice snap right to him. Decent punt all the way inside down to the 35. Reed Evans takes the ball, breaks a tackle, and gets the ball down to the 42-yard line. And that's where the Phantoms will take over. 1st and 10 out in front in the second quarter here by a score of 7-0. Mike Hauser along with Paul Rowe, Bent Musgrove, and Ross Carney.
Here's the punt. I don't think anybody's ever taught Reed Evans a fair catch. I don't think we've ever seen him do a fair catch. That young man likes to run the ball.
Also, Bob Killen up here doing the stats for us here at Darling Stadium, Eastern Region Championship game. Friday evening, the day after Thanksgiving, and it is cold. There's Sean Austin up the middle. He's going to pick up about 3 as he gets the ball outside the 45 to about the 46 before he is stopped by, it looks like, 3 or 4 Indian River Braves right there at the line of nice. Here's a replay.
Indian River Braves are going to have to come up with some answer to Sean Austin because he's beginning to do what he wants to do. And
well, it's all predicated to the offensive line and how they're being able to get off on that snap.
They're doing it time and time again.
Just watch the line of scrimmage and watch, and this time he's going to drop back to pass, and what a shot right over the middle to Reed Evans down to the Indian River 45-yard line.
I don't
He
know
was
how
hit
he
hard,
held on to
too.
that ball.
But I tell you what, the ball was on the money.
Woo.
A little post pattern by Reed Evans.
Watch Boyd go back on this, and he just fires it right in there. He and Evans just have something really special. And ladies and gentlemen, that's another Old Point National Bank first down.
That was Garrett, Reggie Garrett, number 10 on the stop for the Braves. 1st and 10 at the Indian River 45 as the Phantoms now are driving for a second score. Hand us off to the deep back, and that again is Alston. He will pick up a little bit more than 2 yards out to inside the 43-yard line. Couple of yard gain on it.
They continue to march down the field to the happiness of their cheerleaders.
Well, they're just having to do that to keep warm.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, we saw them setting up on the field when they were being introduced on there, and you could see the wind blowing on them. They were just shaking. It was cold. Still is cold.
Yep, I keep telling you that all night long. It's very cold.
This is a little screen. Look out. He's got him in the backfield. He's going to be dropped all the way back at the 49-yard line, and that is number 24 on the stop, Trevon Scales for the Indian River Braves, as Taj Boyd's going to lose about 6 all the way back to the 49.
So for the first time tonight, the Indian River defense is able to get through and get to Taj Boyd.
Also in on that stop was 52, Terrence Pugh. That's going to bring up a 3rd down and 14 now. They need to get the ball down to the 35 for the first down.
And I'm going to guess that we're going to be looking at some sort of pass. And ladies and gentlemen, keep your eyes on number 4.
It's like the Phantoms are going to call timeout now. There's some confusion as to which play they were going to send in there. They actually broke the line. They broke the huddle with 12 players, I think. But they got the timeout, and that's going to leave the Phantoms with 1 timeout here in the first half. Indian River has 2, so with timeout, 6:37 to go here in the second period. The Phantoms out in front, as you can see there by the graphics of Andy Foley.
Andy Foley.
7-0. Yeah, that's 50 cents for you, Andy.
Yeah, Bill D and Coach Van Dyke, along with the Phoebus Phantoms, gathered around him. And, oh, look at there. He looks nice and warm, doesn't he? Hi, is that Gene?
Looks
He's
like
so
Rick
wrapped
Powell
up,
and Gene Wheeler Road.
Scotty says he looks comfortable. Folks, we got a great crew working for us tonight. Let me tell you about them a little bit. On the cameras, we have Nate Braxton, Susan Bowers, Ron Baton, and Steve Fryer, who I know are very cold out there. The people you're looking at right now, the crane and camera crew, Rick Powell along with Gene Wheeler. Graphics and animation, the guy that does that Indian River Phoebus stuff at the top of the screen you see there is Andy Foley. The instant replays and the slow motion effects done by Mike Nowinski. Our camera control operator, the lovely, the beautiful, the marvelous Sarah Myers. Our production and audio assistant, the marvelous Renee Camden. Audio and chief engineer, Don Sherrouse. The director, the producer, the big man himself, Mr. Scotty Bowers.
3rd down and 14 as we get going here. Fake the draw. There's a pass over the middle. It's completed to the Phantoms, number 7. DeQuan Romeo, and he is all the way down inside the 15-yard line. He did a fantastic job picking that ball up out of the air the way he did. It looked like it was overthrown. It almost looked like the pass was overthrown.
I'm guessing that Reed Evans is going to get it. Guess what? It doesn't. They throw to a different receiver. And what a fantastic catch. Ross, could you see that one as well as we did up here?
Yeah, what he did was he looked off, if you looked at the outside receiver, looked at him the entire time, and then came right back over the middle. And what we need to point out is, as you know, number 7 is only a freshman.
Alston up the middle. Moves the ball to the right of the snap, and he's inside the 10-yard line down to about the 8. He is going to pick up about 5 yards or so on the play. Let's see where they mark it.
And, Mike, least we forget that first down by Romero was the Old Point National Bank sponsored first down.
As the ball sits down inside between the 8 and the 9-yard line. Give him 4 on the play. Yep. 2nd down and 6.
Now see that guy right there in the green coat in the middle of the screen with the hat on? That's what I need.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I need.
2nd down and 6. Alston again to the left. He's down inside the 5. He's working his way in. Touchdown. We're sitting here waiting for the call. I'm looking at the 2 referees to the left of the line of scrimmage, and neither one of them gave a signal. but Austin does go in and score.
What a fantastic shot that was at ground level. Watch this as Austin gets it. Watch his legs. Watch his feet. Drives.
Dude, he was hit at the 5-yard line and worked his way right into the end zone. Great effort by Austin.
Fantastic blocking by Purnell Jones, Hogan Davenport, and Davis.
Boyd is blocked. Caught in the air by Taj Boyd. So after the block extra point, it is Phoebus 13 and Indian River nothing. There, look at that. Is that Mayor Carney?
Yeah,
he looks like he might be a little chilly out there.
Ross Jr., we're going to have to, Ross III, we're going to have to get your dad to bring that blanket over to me. Here's the replay of that blocked kick. Yeah. And like I said, that is a rarity with him. Wow. So with just 5 minutes and 26 seconds left in the half, Phoebus jumps out 13-0 on that scoring drive.
Yeah, 3 minutes and 48 seconds on the drive, 57 total yards.
And that scoring drive tonight is brought to you by Jack's Family Restaurant, located at the corner of Pembroke Avenue and Woodland Road in Hampton. Jack's, a family favorite. Here's the Phoebus side, looking across toward the Indian River Braves.
Listen to this. Sean Austin, 16 carries, 74 yards, and 3 touchdowns already in the first half. Ross, you got something down there for us?
Yeah, guys, even though Phoebus just scored that touchdown, Coach Bill D was hotter than a firecracker on that blocked extra point. He was not happy with the execution and the production of the special teams, and he is really laying into him over here on the sideline, and rightfully so.
2 touchdowns. I'm sorry. I thought it said 2. Thank you, Ross. So Matt Cole's kickoff to the near side here, taken at the 11-yard line by the Indian River Braves, number 7, Dodge White. Gets outside, misses a tackle, and boom, down he goes. And there is a flag down. That's Rasheed Clark. He's been in on both tackles after kickoffs. Going to have an illegal use of hands, so that's going to cost Indian River. Let's watch this again. See if we can see the penalty.
Yeah, here's the kickoff here. Number 7 gets it on one side of the field. He takes off across the other side. Watch Rasheed Clark. Watch him hit. Watch him make this hit right. Oh, it was number 2 that hit him. Ooh. I'm sorry, it was number 2.
Yeah, number 27 had him by the legs, and number 2, which is Jared Barber, he kind of took care of him on the top side.
I'd say he did. That was a hit.
That was a big penalty, though. It's really going to cost him. It's going to back him up to about the 11-yard line, where Indian River, trailing 13-0 here in the second quarter, will take over first down and 10.
There you see number 5, Markel Wilkins, setting up.
Garrett is the quarterback. Hands the ball off to the tailback. He's still not down. He fumbles the ball. Did it stay in bounds?
Let's find out.
It was a battle for the actual fumble, and it looks like Indian River got it back. They did. And I believe that was Dominic Bethea on the carry, number 4.
See if we can see anything on the replay here. Here's the handoff. Goes to the right side. Looks like he's going to be tackled here, and somehow he gets out of that. And right here, when he gets hit, the ball comes up. Now, we couldn't tell from here whether that ball was going out or whether it stayed in.
Yeah, the hit was made by Nathaniel Motley, number 8, as it looked like he hit his shoulder right on the ball and just popped it right up.
But the commotion led us to believe that possibly it was a fumble, and indeed it was.
That was a gain of about 11 on the play. Gives them a first and 10 at the 22. Garrett back to pass. Over the middle, I believe it was touched at the line. If it wasn't, it was awful bad pass because it was nowhere near the intended receiver.
Yeah, I think that was close.
That was close to being intercepted.
Teacher of the year.
Let's see if we can possibly see if it was deflected at the line. And it looked like Dominic Davenport may have got a hand on the ball.
Almost intercepted.
Incomplete pass brings up second down and 10 for the Braves. Ball still sits at about the 22-yard line. 3 wideouts now, 2 to the near side in the I formation. Back to pass, it's a draw. And I believe the ball was handed off to Quentin Mike, the tailback.
And there's the teacher of the year for the city, Hampton, Debbie Martin,
she was the one that got
Phoebus
the
High
truck.
School, right, from Hampton Chevrolet. I was very fortunate to teach with her at Jones Middle School.
The guy behind her looked like was being kept warm with somebody with some nice mittens.
We just saw the replay on that. Nice defensive stop there by the Phoebus Phantoms again.
Got back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. It's 3rd down and 10 now for the Braves. Again, 3 wide. This time they got 4 wideouts, 2 on either side of center. Single set back by Garrett. Back to pass.
Ooh, pressured.
Over the middle, deep. Intercepted by Reed Evans at the 40. And he is brought down, it looks like, by number 7, Deidre White of the Braves at the 45. So with that turnover and intercepted by Reed Evans, the Phantoms will take over 1st and 10 at their own 45-yard line.
Now here's my territory. This is like a center fielder out there going, I got it, I got it, I got it. He just takes it in. Now, he doesn't know it, but if he could have come near side field all the way across field, he had nothing but daylight in front of him.
Well, the intended receiver was number 25, Van Dyke Jones, and intercepted by the Phantoms is Reed Evans, again a major part. There's Coach D. Major factor in the game right now is Reed Evans. Looks like Taj Boyd is changing up on the line of scrimmage here. This time he's going to do that little post pass to Evans as he gets inside of Indian River territory near the 49-yard line. It's going to be a pickup of about 6 on the play.
Now, what will happen here, folks, is that he and Evans will keep hitting that little pass like you're going to see here. It's just a quick slant. He'll hit that, and all of a sudden, Reed will run that pattern, turn on a dime, go the other way, and he's open.
That's right. It almost looked like when he changed it up at the line of scrimmage, they were telling each other, look at the defense. He's back off of me. What you got down there, Ross?
Hey, guys, you're exactly right with what you were saying. Reed and Taj are communicating real well, and on that last play, Reed was out here one-on-one with no backside help, meaning there was no safety on the over-under. So he was able to cut that slant off. 25 was caught out in the middle of the field with nobody there to cover except for Reed, who was slanting right across the middle, as the Phoebus coaching staff here is getting excited as they're driving down the field.
That was Austin on a carry of about 2 yards on a play. Number 80 on the stop, Frank Clemens for the Braves. 3rd down and a long 2. Call it 3rd and 3.
Winding down, about 2:40 left in the half here. You're watching WHCS Channel 46.
Austin on a handoff, gets inside the 45 down near the 43-yard line, and that's going to be good for a Phantom 1st down.
And that's another Old Point National Bank 1st down. Austin. And how many yards does he have now as he just runs over the left-hand side there, following the blocks of Charlie Jones, Dominique Davenport, Robbie Davis. He's got a bunch, doesn't he?
Well, he had 74 a little while ago, so he's picked up about 10 more as the Phantoms will call is that their last time out? Yes.
I believe it is.
So the Phantoms will call their last time out here in the 1st half as we are at 2:24 to go here before halftime. Phantoms out in front by a score of 13-0.
We're hoping you're enjoying our telecast this evening, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see some of the crowd once again as we bring you the great shots from around Darling Stadium. We're watching the Phoebus Phantoms play the Indian River Braves in the regional championships here at Darling. As you take a look at the Indian River team, they have nice little arrowheads there on their helmets. Kind of reminds me of the Redskins. Good team that has gotten to the regional finals by knocking off some of the top-ranked teams in the area.
So far here in the 1st half.
Look at the crowd over here from Indian River. Those guys had to come all the way across the tunnel, as we call it, that we don't like, all that traffic. But they're here, and once again, they're supporting high school sports. That's a big deal. What is this program on Friday night? Something or other that they have on HBO or something like that?
Friday night flights.
But we ought to have something like that here because we've
1st
got
and 10.
great football.
And Boyd is being pressured, and he is sacked for about a 5-yard loss. So far in the 1st half, folks, Sean Austin, 18 carries, 80 yards, 2 touchdowns. And Taj Boyd is 6 of 8 for 69 yards, and this is his second sack of the game.
Now, you saw Boyd with the pump there, and I couldn't tell because I wasn't able to see. Maybe Ross did. I think that might have been that slant, pump, and go.
Yeah. Terrence Pugh on the stop and the sack for Indian River. Second down now and about 14 for the Phantoms. Like it's going to be a keeper this time by Boyd as he gets down near the 40-yard line. As he gains 7 on the play, as the ball will be marked at the Indian River 41-yard line. We're down to a minute 25 to go.
Now, Ross, did you have something on that pass play there as we watched the replay?
Exactly right. That's what it was. Reed was a stop and go. He stopped, went. Taj just got pressured. It's really a good thing he didn't throw the ball because he was double covered, and I think it would have been picked off.
Thanks a lot, Ross.
Third down and 7 for the Phantoms as they are letting the clock continue to tick away here, a minute and 4. Austin stands beside Taj Boyd in the shotgun. Back to pass. Nice block by Austin. Pass was intended. I believe it was Reed Evans.
It was.
And it looked like he looks like he was upset because he thought the ball hit him right in the gut. And he was well covered too, so good defense on the play that time by the Braves.
With 51 seconds, you'll see the pass go right to Evans and right in the hands and right out. He's upset. He knows he should have had that one.
That was good coverage also by the Braves, number 8. I guess it was 19. I thought it was 18.
And that's the thing I want people to notice. It was good coverage. And we've seen the good coverage on Reed Evans all night long. And yet, he's making the catches. And Taj Boyd is not afraid to put it in there to him.
So here is Matt Cole in to punt the ball. Nice spiral punt as it lands at about the 8 and is going to be killed at about the 7. So Matt Cole backs the Indian River Braves up all the way down inside their own 10-yard line as we get near the end of the first half with the Phantoms out front by a score of 13-0 here at Darlin Stadium. Here's a replay.
WHCS Channel 46 Sports as we watch Matt Cole's punt roll down to about the 6-yard line. Nice punt by Matt Cole.
First and 10 Indian River from their own 6.
I like those ground level shots we just got to peek at there, and every now and then we'll see the plays run from the ground level, especially at touchdown. There's some of the coaches for the Phantoms. We'll see what the defense for the Phantoms can do here in holding Indian River at bay until we get to the halftime. Whoop, a little slip there.
Like the ball was handed off to the Braves number 4, Dominic Bethea, and he's going to go down right at the line of scrimmage. Well, looks like he's going to lose about 2 as they do mark it down inside the 5.
Dominic Bethea just gets the handoff here and just slips. Literally, that's all he did. He just slipped.
Looks like they're going to mark it at about the 4. Loss of about 2 on the play. Second down and 12.
8 seconds in running here as we're getting near the end of the half.
Again, hands off to Bethea. This time he gets outside the right, and he's going to pick up enough, it looks like, close to a first down. But as the clock has run down to all zeros here as we end the first half of play here with the score, Phoebus 13 and Indian River nothing.
What a great first half you've been watching, ladies and gentlemen, on WHCS Channel 46 Sports. Friday night regional play, the championship, Mike.
Stay tuned for second half action. We will return shortly, and we will bring you the second half action here at Darlin Stadium. Phoebus 13, Indian River nothing at the half. Phantoms at the half lead the Indian River Braves 13-0 as the Phantoms have come out and played really well as the Braves gave up their first 2 touchdowns of the playoffs, as they've held everybody so far during the playoffs to no touchdowns, all field goals, but the Phantoms scored quickly here and lead 13-0, as we got a couple of replays here we want to show for you.
And here they are, Mike. The first one is a nice pass from Taj Boyd to Reed Evans, who comes back to make the catch and takes the ball all the way across the field. Great move by Evans to come back and get that ball. Next, we'll see the handoff to Sean Alston, who splits the sides, goes off and in to the inside the 5-yard line, and then they'll give him the ball one more time, and this time he sees pay dirt, he gets there, and there's your touchdown. Next, we'll see a Indian River highlight, really, is where they finally get in and get to Taj Boyd for the sack. That's the one thing they did right in the game. Now we'll see another pass once again. This one goes to young number 7, Daquan Romero, the freshman, for a nice catch, and then you just give the ball to Sean Alston. You watch him drive. You watch him pump those legs till he gets into the end zone, and Phoebus on the board again. Just great drives there by the Phoebus fans.
Sean Alston was stopped right at the 5-yard line and just fought his way all the way into the goal line and finally did score that touchdown. He has 2 on the night. Let's show the first half stats here. And the score tells the actual tale here. Look at that. First down-wise, Indian River has 3. Phoebus has 11. Rushing yards for Indian River. And only have 22 yards rushing on 9 carries. 93 yards on 27 carries for the Phantoms. Passing also on the Phantoms side of the board. 1 for 7 yards for Indian River. And Phoebus had 6 for 69 yards. Actually, I believe he was 6 for 9, and that's what it is. 1 interception on both sides. I don't remember Phoebus having an interception. Do you?
No, but
a couple of punts were done in the first half, but not much in regards to returns. Sacks, Indian River was not sacked during the first half. Taj Boyd was sacked twice for 10 yards of loss. Indian River did fumble the ball twice. They were able to retain possession both times, and we really don't want to say it, but as far as penalties are concerned, as you can see, there was only one penalty in the entire half, and that was on a kickoff, folks. Look at the time of possession, though. 17 minutes and 38 seconds the Phantoms had the ball in the first half to 6 minutes and 22 seconds for the Indian River Braves. And folks, the halftime statistics show why the score is 13-0.
Oh, yeah, and thanks so much, ladies and gentlemen. The graphics on that, Mr. Andy Foley did a super job with putting that together for us, and the replays by Mr. Mike Nowinski, who was really hustling back there, and the stats from our 2 statisticians, Brent Musgrove and Bob Killen, to put this halftime stuff together for you. And ladies and gentlemen, tonight's first half highlights have been brought to you by Old Point National Bank, proudly serving the families and businesses of Hampton Roads since 1923. Now offering a free gift with every new personal checking account. Stop by and visit any one of our 19 convenient offices throughout Hampton Roads. Old Point National Bank. On the web, you can find them at oldpoint.com. Our first half stats and highlights. Again, thanks to Andy Foley and Mike Nowinski, as well as Brent Musgrove and Bob Killen for that.
Well, as we get ready to set to start the third quarter of play here, Phoebus will be kicking off left to right to the Indian River Braves, who will be defending the east end zone here as we take a look at the Phantoms huddle as they get ready to run out to kick the ball off to start the third quarter action here. As the Phantoms out in front by a score of 13-0 over the Braves from Indian River High School,
who might finally be coming back to reality.
Well, I think...
and I don't say that in a bad way. They have had a great season.
Defensively, the Indian River has not done really that bad of a job, but it's actually been the offensive line of the Phantoms who have the ball control that they've been able to obtain, as Sean Alston has gained 80 yards there in the first half on 18 carries. So he's done a good job, and the offensive line has been able to control it. And here is the kickoff, taking the ball at about the 5-yard line and spinning around and falling down back at the 3 for the Braves is number 7, DeAndre White. And he's going to end up losing about 2 on the play back to the 3-yard line. So this is bad news for starting of the third quarter here for Indian River.
Andre White, a great athlete, is just not getting the best in his footing today. That's the second time he slipped down in that area. If you remember in the first half, he had a handoff and his feet came right out from under him. So it's a little tough on DeAndre White today. But also credit that to the special teams of Phoebus.
So as we get started here, 1st and 10 from their own 3-yard line. This is dangerous territory down here for Indian River to start the third quarter.
It's this defense, it is, that's for sure.
Hand off to the tailback, and that is number 28, Quentin Mike. That's his second carry of the game, and we talked about him early on as being one of the main cogs for this, and we haven't seen him much of him in the game.
Oh, we sure haven't. As you see the tackles there, look like number 25 for the Phantom, Chaz Robinson, getting in there. And you like that name, don't you, Quentin Mike? Ross, you got some information for us from down on the ground, so let's hear what you have to say there.
Hey, guys, I wanted to ask you, you see who's quarterback in number 5?
Yes.
That's a change, isn't it?
Yes,
it is a change.
Well, I've learned on the sideline that number 10, I believe, was quarterbacking earlier.
Right.
Correct.
He's out with an injury. 5's going the rest of the way.
He, according to the roster, was the original starting quarterback for this team.
At the beginning of the Potilio.
So we're going to have to remember that Potilio is now the quarterback and likely to be in the rest of the game at that position. Pass was incomplete, well overthrown.
Yeah, we'll watch this play. It's just a quick snap pass right over to the left, and that just goes right over and right into. Look at the cameraman on the. I'm sorry, I'm not laughing. I don't mean to laugh. Ross is saying, go ahead, laugh.
Go ahead, Ross.
Go,
Ross.
Hey, guys, if I had just moved like 5 inches to either way, I would have saved the camera, but I figured that it was going to miss me, and it did, but it hit the camera. Sorry, Scotty, because the camera is now totally busted.
No. No.
I know it's my job to protect the camera, but I was trying to protect myself first. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's too funny, guys.
Now, Ross, you played football. You're supposed to protect that quarterback, and the cameraman is your quarterback.
I know that, but, I see somebody in pads coming, and all of a sudden I get excited, and I get ready like I'm going to hit them, and I forgot all about the guy I was protecting. That was a mental error on my foot.
Now, that pass was completed to number 16, Antonio Brown, and it looks like he's just shy of the first down, but they're going to have to bring out the change to mark it. Looks like he's got a first down.
There's the play of the camera.
Does.
Boom, look at it. Just hits the camera right square in the lens. And Ross is nowhere to be seen. Ross is gone.
So the Indian River Braves get out of a little bit of trouble as they obtain a first down outside the, looks like the 13-yard line. So Indian River has a first down here.
And that is an Old Point National Bank first down for the Indian River Braves.
Potilio is the quarterback, number 5. According to their roster, he was the quarterback for this team before they made that switch to Garrett. I never saw Garrett get hurt, did you?
No, I didn't.
There's a pass outside, and the ball was actually thrown out of bounds, and it was intended for number 7, DeAndre White.
DeAndre White. And Brent and I were watching him during the game, or before the game, as you'll see the pass here to him. DeAndre White, a great athlete. He was running some patterns and making the catches, but Mike, when he was throwing the ball back, this kid can throw the ball. I mean, he had a sharp, crisp pass that he was throwing a good 20, 30 yards back.
So that brings up a second down and 10 after the incompleted pass. Ilio hands the ball off, I believe, to Mike. And he is brought down just outside the 10 at about the 11, so he's going to lose what looks to be a few yards there.
Levante Battle, number 35, broke right through and took the runner down. Watch this. Keep your eye on number 35, Levante Battle in the middle there as he comes right in and wrestles the ball carrier down to the ground. The Phoebus defense just really toughening up here, Mike.
Loss of about 3 on the play. That'll bring up a third down and 13 for the Phantoms.
I hope we're pronouncing,
I'm sorry for the Braves.
I hope we're pronouncing that right, that Potilio, I heard the coach, Cadillac Davis. counts it that way, so I hope we're doing that.
And I tell you what, Reed Evans had his second interception, and he batted at it instead of trying to catch it. It was intended for the wide receiver, number 25, Van Dyke Jones. I believe it was a little bit overthrown, and Reed Evans is beside himself right now.
Oh, yeah, he
is. Watch what he does.
Yeah, he knew. I'm just trying to bat this thing down, but then he realized, I could have caught that. I could have caught it. But he
like the ball went right off of his chest.
Well, he was doing what he's supposed to, knock that ball down.
So Evans will sit back now to receive the punt.
And there's Don Schraus, our main man.
Evans takes it at the 38-yard line and is forced back for about a 4-yard loss back outside the 40.
You didn't see Don Schraus. He's our chief engineer. He's down there trying to do some doctor work on the camera. I imagine Don's beside himself.
So the Phantoms will take over now after forcing Indian River to punt the ball deep from their own territory. 1st and 10 from the Indian River 42-yard line.
You're watching WHCS Channel 46 Sports as we bring you the regional championships on November the 23rd from Darling Stadium, the day after Thanksgiving.
Here's Alston on
nice
give,
blitz.
and he is brought down for about a 3-yard loss by number 16 of Indian River, and that's Antonio Brown. And Brown's been in an awful lot of plays tonight.
He has, and I think he came off the top side of your screen here untouched. Watch him on the blitz right through. Boom, nobody stopped him at all.
3-yard loss on the play all the way back to the 45. That will bring up a 2nd down and 13 for the Phantoms. One wide out to the near side, and that is Reed Evans, along with number 10, and that's Taj Boyd is back here. That's not 10. Who is this over here? 16.
There it is again.
There's 16 wide open, and he passes the ball underneath to Evans, and he fights his way down inside the 35, down to about the 32. I thought he was actually throwing the ball originally to number 16, Germondo Towler.
Well, he wanted Reed Evans. Once again, that was the pump and go, and he could not get him. And he scrambled until somebody could get free, and he kept his eyes on Evans trying to find out where he was. That's the man he likes to hit in situations like that.
That was a tough pass to catch, too,
yes,
with somebody draped all over him. Go ahead, Ross. What you got down there? You looking at the measurement? I guess his microphone got broke, too.
No, it's back on now. I'm sorry, guys. I'm filling in for the camera because it's been taken back to the emergency room. And he's about the nose of a football short, and I would say that Coach D's going to go for it right here.
The way to the emergency
John was giving it CPR on his way out, so I don't know what the status is, but we'll try to get you a medical report on the camera as soon as we can.
Oh, man, it'll be 3rd down and less than a yard for the Phantoms. Going to the emergency room. That's good. I'll guarantee you Don's not amused. That's right. All right, 3rd down and about a foot now for the Phantoms.
Oh, I'm guessing quarterback keeper.
Reed Evans.
How about you?
By himself way out to the top of the screen. Taj Boyd under center.
I'd follow Robbie Davis.
Boyd on a keeper, down to the 30, down inside the 30, and back to the 30 again. Good job as he picks up about 2 yards on the play, and that's good enough for a Phantom 1st down.
And that's another Old Point National Bank 1st down. Old Point National Bank serving the needs of Hampton Road since 1923 as we watch Boyd just go off center off the left side of Robbie Davis and basically followed Charlie Jones. Charlie Jones played. Hell, what am I thinking of? Not that Charlie Jones won't. He's good enough to eventually do that, I think. But
1st and 10. Have whistles all over the place here and a flag. It looks like somebody moved, and they did. That'll cost 5 yards. That's penalty number 2 in the game. Each team has 1 penalty in the game. See, I know.
Let's not talk about penalties.
Well, this officiating crew is letting these young men play tonight. It's not to say there hasn't been any penalties, but it's been a pretty penalty-free game.
Yes, it has. It really has.
5-yard
fairly
penalty
clean game.
makes it 1st and 15 now as the ball sits at the 35-yard line. Austin again. Austin fumbled the ball. It's on the ground, and Indian River has come up with the fumble. The first turnover of the game. And number 3 for Indian River, Jarrell Sneed, comes up with the Austin fumble. And Indian River will take over 1st and 10 at their own 32-yard line.
And Mike, I can't ever remember Austin fumbling the ball. I don't think he ever got his hands really completely on it.
Looked like they lost the ball during the exchange.
Yeah. But I can't think.
I don't remember. I can't remember Austin fumbling all year.
I can't either. So that's an oddity there.
1st and 10 Indian River as they stop the Phantom drive. Cole at their own 32. Speaking of cold, it certainly is cold. 4 wideouts now for Indian River. Patilio back to pass.
Uh-oh, he's in trouble.
He just lays the ball up and is caught out there by, looks like the tailback, Quentin Mike, all the way outside the 40, near the 42-yard line. Just
number 25.
Over the outstretched hands. Was it 25?
Number 25, Van Dyke Jones, I believe. Here you see him go back. He's chasing out of the pocket. He's got nowhere to go. He just flips it out there. It's
just
almost
over the outstretched hands.
And it's caught by number 25, Van Dyke Jones. And that's a first down, and that's an Old Point National Bank first down.
Indian River has a 1st and 10 at their own 43-yard line. Again, this time they have 4 wideouts, 2 to the top side and 2 to the near side. Single setback next to Patilio. Van Dyke in motion and a blitz, and they almost had him, and he's wide open down the middle of the field. Off target was number 16, Antonio Brown, and let me tell you, that would have been a big gain if he had been able to connect on that one.
That might have been a touchdown there, Mike. I'm not sure how
I thought they had him in the backfield.
got out of this. I thought he was going to be down, but there's nobody behind him. He's open and gone.
Incomplete pass brings up a 2nd down and 10.
Has Indian River forsaken the run?
Well, they only had a few yards rushing in the first half. I don't think it's a matter whether they...
Have they had a running play at all in this half? Just one. 2.
And now Patilio is running for his life. It's a screen pass is completed, but they're going to lose about 3 yards on the play as it was actually completed to number 25 again, and that's Van Dyke Jones. As he slips and falls at his own 39-yard line, he's going to lose about 4 on the play.
Phoebus had this one played almost as good as you could have it played. In fact, they're lucky that it wasn't intercepted there by number 15 of the Phantoms, it looked like.
Was it 15 or 25? I think it was 25.
Might have been 25. Is it Chaz Robinson?
Yeah. 3rd down and about 14 now as the ball sits at the 39-yard line. 3 wideouts to the top of the screen. The lone wideout's number 7 to the near side. That's White. Patilio in shotgun again, drops back to pass. Deep down the sideline, and there's Reed Evans, and I believe Reed Evans has intercepted the ball again. That's his 2nd interception as he just battled the receiver for the ball and took it right away from him. And it was also intended for number 25, Van Dyke Jones. Watch this, folks.
There's those hands again that we keep talking about on offense, and what people don't understand is this young man, Reed Evans, also plays defense as well as he plays offense.
Well, I guess the opposing teams don't understand that they're going to throw to him on offense. Don't throw to him on defense. Because he's already picked off 2 tonight. 1st and 10 now as the Phantoms take over at their own 26-yard line as we are at the 6:25, or is that 6:05?
6:15.
It's kind of hard to tell.
One or the other.
Here in the 3rd quarter. I believe that's Austin on the carry as he takes the ball out to about the 28-yard line. That'll be a pickup of a couple for the Phantoms.
Austin once again off the left-hand side following the blocks of that offensive line. picking up more yardage as he moves the Phantoms forward down the field. There you see Reed Evans coming back on the field.
Gain of 2 will give him for that carry for Alston. That'll bring up a 2nd down and 8. Ball sits at the Phantom 28-yard line.
About as deep as they've been in their territory all night, I think, Mike.
Yep. And that was because of an interception.
Yep.
Reed Evans in motion now towards Taj Boyd. Sets himself up to block for Alston as Alston takes the ball outside the 30 to about the 32-yard line. He's going to pick up about 4 on the play. Looks like Reed Evans coming out of the game on that play.
If you're watching this, you've just got to be impressed by the fact that Alston is hit and he keeps going, and he's hit and he keeps going again.
Evans goes back in. I thought he was coming out. Gain of 4 on the play. That's going to bring up a 3rd down and 4 as the ball sits at their own 32-yard line. They are really running Reed Evans a lot, coming in and out, getting plays, as it looks like the Phantoms are going to call timeout again, as I guess Coach Bill D didn't think that they had everybody set for that one.
All right, once again, we'd like to thank the production crew that we have out here tonight, Mike, on our cameras. Nate Braxton, Susan Bowers, Ron Baton, and Steve Fryer. On that cold metal crane camera down on the field, we have Rick Powell along with Gene Wheeler. Our graphics and animation in the warm truck, Mr. Andy Foley, along with his slow motion assistant, instant replay assistant, Mike. Where am I getting assistant from? Just slow motion instant replay, Mike Nowinski. The camera control operator, Sarah Miles. The wonderful production and audio assistant, Renee Camden. Here's the replay of the interception that we just had that gave Phoebus the ball deep in their own territory. Nice ups, good hands by Reed Evans.
Fighting for the ball.
He is. He should have been over there standing next to Ross a little while ago, so their audio and chief engineer, Don Strauss, didn't have to go out and perform ER on the camera that got broke. And, of course, the man who sits in the camera and directs this whole thing, produces it, makes sure that everything goes the way it's supposed to, Mr. Scotty Bowers. I'm Paul Rowe, along with Mike Hauser up in the booth with Brent Musgrove and Bob Killen, and out on the field without a camera, Ross Carney the third.
I believe he's got a camera down there now. I think Don's done fixed it for him, or he's got another one out there. Either way, here we go. It looks like a draw play by Taj Boyd goes nowhere, as the Indian River Braves had that one snuffed out pretty good, and he's going to lose a couple of yards back to, looks like he's going to lose a yard, as it'll be 4th down and 5 now back at the 31.
Indian River had the blitz coming on that one, and they just stacked Taj Boyd right there.
All right, Matt.
We're running out of cameras, I've been told from the truck.
So Matt Cole in to punt the ball for the Phantoms. Back deep for Indian River is White, number 7. And one gentleman we had talked a little bit about earlier with his moves and his speed. And nice nice punt all the way back to the 30. And White's going nowhere as he is stopped right at the 32-yard line. And
Demetrius Ward, number 30, got down there very quickly, Mike, and made this stop. White had nowhere to go.
Great coverage.
Not a good snap, and he gets a good punt off.
Nice spiral.
Watch Demetrius Ward coming off the top of your screen here.
Like he got all the way to the 34, but started going in the wrong direction.
Yeah, he did.
Ends up losing a couple yards on the play after he had gotten all the way out to near the 35. So Indian River takes over 1st and 10 from their own 31-yard line, 32-yard line.
There we saw at least one happy Phantom fan. Glad.
4 wide outs. And there is a flag. I believe somebody up front moved a little bit earlier.
See, you jinxed us.
Oh, well, that's all right. It's going against them.
Well, it's still a flag.
If we see somebody move.
Well, a couple of them moved there
like
on top of the
both wide
screen.
receivers moved early.
Well, they could do that if they were playing in the Canadian League, but they're not, are they?
No, I don't think so. 5 yards, that one cost them.
Through the third quarter in the Division 6 title game, it is still Salem.
1st down and 15 now for Indian River.
If you don't know where you are, ladies and gentlemen, you're at home. You're watching WHCS Channel 46 Sports.
Guarantee you they're warm.
I guarantee you they're warm, too. You're watching the regional championships, November the 23rd, the day after Thanksgiving.
Oh, down he
Whoa.
goes. The ball was handed off to number 28. That is Quentin Mike, and he is just absolutely
Avante Battle just came
back
in there and just took watch as
boom.
There he is.
Ooh.
What can you say?
And got him by the shoulder pads.
Avante Battle.
Lost all the way back to the Indian River 22-yard line. Looks like it's going to be a second down and 20 now for the Braves.
Big, wonderful Phoebus crowd out here. Again, folks, if you're watching this on the replay, thank you for coming out in this cold weather tonight to support your Phoebus Phantoms, and we hope they're going to win this game and move on.
Well, I'll tell you what, the Phoebus fans have really been here to support the Phantoms here, and I'm really a little bit disappointed in the crowd on the other side. I expected for a regional championship game to have more people here.
Now, Mike, that's actually a pretty big crowd when you stop and think about it.
Well,
here's that replay. Bad snap on this ball. It's just snapped real low around the ankles, and Patilio does a good job in covering that up to make sure the Phoebus doesn't get it. But when you look across here, that's a decent crowd. You put them all together, and you got a pretty decent setup there.
What you got down there for us, Ross?
As I just wanted to show you, this is all that's left of the camera, the microphone. I do have the cameraman still down here braving the cold. It doesn't look like the camera's coming back, so we're going to bow our heads and take a moment here to really.
Ron, what'd you do with the camera?
Patilio is being forced out of the pocket and chased and brought down by Davenport as he gets outside the 22-yard line. It's pretty bad when we're getting to the situation where we start talking about burying the camera now.
Patilio, no place to go here. The Phoebus defense flushes him out, takes off after him, and eventually brings him down as Dominique gets in there, Baby D. Now that man is warm. He is definitely warm.
So fourth down and what looks to be about 18 on the play. Reed Evans back at his own 34-yard line. Punt looks like it's going to be short and goes out of bounds, and not a good kick at all. The Phantoms will have the ball first and 10 at the Indian River, inside the Indian River 40-yard line. So that was less than 20 yards on the punt, and the Phantoms will get great field position to start this drive here in the third quarter with 1:30 to go, still out in front by a score of 13-0. Not really much of anything's happened here in the third quarter.
No, it's just kind of been back and forth, back and forth. Phoebus pretty much controlling the ball, getting good field position right here. They started off once deep in their own end of the field. But, not much going on except that Phoebus is winning.
That was moving along pretty good before Austin fumbled the ball. And here we go, first and 10, just inside of the 40. Back to pass, and he had to get rid of the ball. There's Evans over the middle, wide open, into the end zone, 40 yards for the score.
Mike, I hope, and I shouldn't say this, but I hope we're able to see a replay on this, because as I was watching the screen up here in the booth, Evans went into motion.
It cut right straight up.
But he doesn't go all the way across in motion. Watch the replay here.
He stopped at the line of scrimmage.
He goes off tackle.
He looked like he was setting up the block on a run play.
Exactly. He got lost in the middle of all of this, and at 6 feet, he just emerges from the middle of that line and burst out there.
And give Todd Boyd credit. He put the ball right on the money for the score. And here is Cole for the extra point attempt. And down he goes. There's no flag on the play. That's unusual because it looked like he was knocked down. The kick was good. So here we are with minute 22 to go in the third quarter of play. Phoebus has stretched their lead now to 20-0 over Indian River. And what a pass.
Mike, I've been told that as we watched the touchdown here, this was
You saw how he kind of got stuck in the middle there. Then he just took off running down the field.
This scoring drive took 8 seconds, 40 yards, touchdown.
One play.
And ladies and gentlemen, this scoring drive once again is brought to you by Jack's Family Restaurant, located at the corner of Pembroke Avenue and Woodland Road in Hampton.
My
Jack's,
question is,
a family favorite.
My question is you sure the time is correct?
Well, let's see. Maybe 8 seconds in time they went out there. Well, I mean, when I was watching this as it started, I thought, what in the world is Evans doing going up the middle? And then you've got the blitz coming from Indian River. You couldn't have called it at a more perfect time. Nobody's in the secondary to cover. These guys see Evans slide out there, and they're turning around, and they're chasing him.
But here's Matt Cole to kick off for the Phantoms.
Tell you what, if you're chasing Reed Evans, you've already lost.
This is Mike on the carry, outside. Gets away from a tackle and is brought down short of the 25-yard line.
That was Mike who?
No, that's his last name. That's Quentin Mike. Quentin Mike, number 28. So he gets the ball outside the 24-yard line, just shy of the 25, where Indian River will take over first down. As we get closer to the end of the third quarter, minute 15 to go. Phantoms out in front 20-0.
In River Braves looking at the wrong end of the score, and I hope those people aren't leaving. Stick around. This game still got another quarter to go.
Quentin Mike on the carry up the middle, and he's stopped by a host of Phantoms. Back to about the line of scrimmage, maybe a gain of a yard at most.
That would be gracious if they gave him a yard there, and I guess I just got my answer as to why they're doing a lot of passing.
Well, the Phantoms' defensive front has absolutely stymied Indian River's rushing attack tonight.
Not to mention everything else, too. That defensive line of Charlie Jones, Dominique Davenport, Daquan Romero, and Romeo DeLoach, along with the backers, McMillan, Battle, Robinson, Goodwin, and throw in the corners, Evans and Wilkins and Motley at safety. They're shutting it down.
Second down and just shy of 10. We'll call it 2nd and 9. Oh, look out. The ball's free. And that is number 4. Dominique Bethea having to go back after the ball as it was pitched way away from the intended pitch man. I mean, Bethea was ready to go. And Ross, did you see that from where you're at?
Yes, I did, and what a well-timed executed blitz that was, because what he did was come through. Quarterback, I could see from the sideline, his eyes got as big as baseballs when he saw him coming in. And he just threw that ball out there to avoid a sack, and they just fell on it, which was the right thing to do. But to go back to what Paul was saying, Paul, you're exactly right. Indian River can't run the ball. Indian River can't pass the ball. It's been total domination by the Phantoms this entire game. And I know we got an entire fourth quarter to go, but if Phoebus keeps this up, this is going to be the returning Eastern Region champions.
I agree with you there. I'm not going to predict anything because we do have a quarter left, Ross, but I'm in agreement that Phoebus just looks too good right now. Their defense is playing at a peak at this point in the game. Go ahead.
Let me do this. Listen to this stat real quick. Taj Boyd, 8 of 11, no interceptions, 120 yards and a touchdown. And his main receiver is Reed Evans. He has 7 catches for 101 yards and a touchdown.
Ooh.
Talk about offensive power, as the Phantoms are doing a very good job moving the ball right now.
And remember, I told you the little anecdote about the Indian River fan who didn't realize they had a passing game?
Well, that kind of
proves
it there.
Ladies and gentlemen, here we go with the third quarter. The third quarter sponsors for tonight's game are Eric Thompson Realtor with William E. Wood, the Hampton City Schools alumni and former athlete. You can call Eric to buy or sell a home or property. Call Eric at 881-2004 as we go back to action on the field. I'll get back to these in a moment.
Here's a deep pass down the sideline and triple coverage intended for number 16, Antonia Brown, and that one, folks, didn't have a chance.
I've always been told you never throw into double coverage.
Well, it's bad enough, but
does that mean it's okay to throw into triple coverage?
Reed Evans was back there, number 38 was Colby Goodwin, and also number 8 on the play was Nathaniel Motley. All 3 of them back here.
All right, back to our sponsors. Before I get too far on the sponsors, though, ladies and gentlemen, you need to know this. And Eric Thompson, I hope you're watching because I understand you had a birthday.
Well, everybody has a birthday.
Eric Thompson had a birthday. Eric Thompson is 30 years old. And Eric was a little edgy about getting there. Eric, don't worry about it. Everybody gets to that point where they turn another year older. Your mother was telling me you still look good, and she still loves you. So, Eric,
they went after that one.
Happy birthday from everybody here at WHCS Channel 46. Yeah, one last thing, Eric. It's when you don't get to your next birthday that you start worrying. The rest of our sponsors for the third quarter. Zooms with locations throughout the peninsula to serve you. And Kelly's Tavern with 2 locations. One at Port Warwick off Jefferson and their newest one at Coliseum Drive and Mercury Boulevard. By Tidewater Team Sports, located on Cannon Boulevard in the Oyster Point area of Newport News. By Solar Lighting in Virginia, for a whole new experience in new lighting. Call Solar Lighting in Virginia at 800-774-7865. And we'll continue after the action on the field.
There's Alston up the middle as the Phantoms have the ball 1st and 10 just inside of Indian River's 40-yard line.
And continue with the sponsors for this quarter again, Old Point National Bank. Old Point National Bank, proudly serving the needs of Hampton Roads since 1923 as the replay shows up on your screen. And by Hampton Chevrolet Jeep Mazda in the heart of Coliseum Central. And also by Jack's Family Restaurant at the corner of Pembroke and Woodland Road. By Affordable Mortgage. Give Lee Moore, the senior loan officer, a call. By Abbott Realty. By Hampton's Commissioner of Revenue, Ross Mugler, and Hampton City Treasurer, Molly Joseph Ward. And by Anna's Italian Restaurant.
Gain of 3 for that last play, and look at him battle his way inside of the 32-yard line as Sean Alston takes the ball from Taj Boyd on a 2nd down and 7 play, and he's going to pick up about 5 on the play. That'll bring up a 3rd down and long 2 for the Phantoms as the ball sits just right at the Indian River 32-yard line. 3rd down and long 2.
Sean Alston reminded me of a movie that I used to like to watch. It was called The Great Escape, because he just tunneled right through the defenders there. Just boom, 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 boom. Kept on going.
No wideouts on this particular play. Alston again up the middle, inside the 30. That's going to be good for a Phantom 1st down. And what does that mean?
That's an Old Point National Bank 1st down. Old Point National Bank proudly serving the needs of Hampton Roads since 1923.
All the way down to the Indian River 28-yard line, 1st and 10. Ross, what you got down there, buddy?
Hey, guys, y'all have replay up there. Unfortunately, I don't down here. But I want you to notice how many people or how many players Indian River's putting in the box. Right now it looks about 9 or 10, and Phoebus is still driving the ball and getting 1st downs. Look at it right now.
They got 9 or 10 in the box because the Phantoms don't have 11. Any wideouts out there.
They got 11 in the box.
Uh-oh, there's a ball that's outside, and I guess they're calling it dead, as I believe Alston dropped it on the ground again, but he was down. Some of the Indian River players are not agreeing with that call, but we did not, from up here, did not see the ball come loose until we saw it shoot out. 9:30 to go here in the game, 4th quarter, 20-0 Phoebus. Let's see if we can see this thing shoot out of there. He's still not down.
There.
And he's down there, but I don't know.
That's close. He had to have had a knee down. Those referees are down there on the field, and they've got a much better view of it than I did. And I'm telling you, folks, I've got a great view of it up here on the screen.
Picked up about a yard. Here again is Alston, as it looks like it's going to be Alston, and Alston. This time he's all the way down to the 20. He's going to pick up about 7 or 8 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down and 2 from the Indian River 20.
And what is this showing you about the Phoebus offensive line, ladies and gentlemen? It's showing you exactly what Ross has been telling you. We got a new camera.
Uh-oh, Ron got him a camera.
But what Ross has been saying all day, the offensive line is blowing the Indian River defense off their feet, and the Phoebus running game is just moving down the field. And this with everybody in the box. They know they're going to run, but they're just outmatched and outmanned. Look how tight they are on the screen right there. And watch what happens.
Alston at the 20. He's hit, gets a couple of yards down near the 18. That's going to be enough for a Phantom 1st down.
And Not only a Phantom first down, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be an Old Point National Bank first down.
Ross, go ahead down there, buddy.
Hey, guys, I just want to go back to what Mike was saying. That was because nobody was outside. The point that I was making is that Phoebus still didn't have any wideouts. They were letting Indian River know they were going to run the ball. And like Paul just said, they're still running the ball, even with that many men in the box and knowing what's coming. That's a very impressive offensive line out there.
Extremely impressive. It has been all year long. This is just a continuation of what we've seen over the last couple of years, Mike. Last year when they had Thunder and Lightning, Haroon Brown and Dennis Mathis, their front line is what made that thing work, and we knew that. You got some great runners behind a great line, you're going to dominate the game, and that's what Phoebus is doing right now. They're dominating this game, and they're saying, look, we know we can beat you, we know we have you, and you're going to have to stop us now.
Well, the ball control is definitely taking over right now. As Sean also has 104 yards rushing on 30 carries. And here he goes again as he gets to maybe a yard or two at the most down inside the 17-yard line.
Great sportsmanship we just saw there on the ground, and I've seen that several times tonight as the opposing teams have helped one another off the field, shaken hands, tapped each other, and it's been really great watching the competitiveness of the team and yet the camaraderie they have on the field.
Give him a yard gain on the play to the 17-yard line for second down and 9 for the Phantoms.
They're ready. They can smell it. 7:20 left in the game, 7:18 now. You're watching WHCS Channel 46 as we
Boyd on
bring
a
you the
keeper.
march to the championship.
Boyd on a keeper. This time he's inside the 15 down near the 13.
Alston, 105 yards now.
Well, I just said that.
Oh, is that what you said? Well, I just saw it over there.
He had 105 after he had 104. Then he picked up that one just now a little while ago, and that carry was by Boyd. He's going to pick up about 4 on the play. That's going to bring up a third down and 5 at the 13-yard line. Yeah, that gives him 31 carries for 105 yards.
Whew. Man, yes, what I was getting ready to say, Scotty, I've just been reminded that the Indian River defense has been out there for a long time as this ball game has been controlled by the Phoebus Phantom offense. And
Alston this time down near the 10-yard line just drives down there, and he's going to be about a yard and a half shy of a first down. That's going to bring up a fourth down play here by the Phantoms, and I'm sure that they will go for it.
Here's Alston on the carry going off the left side, picking up some yardage once again. They're able to get yardage because they're tiring down.
Go ahead, Ross. What you got down there, buddy?
Hey, guys, I know in the past games that we've had, especially during the playoffs, we've had some questionable calls, but we really need to tip our hats to the referees tonight. They have let these guys play, and they have really called a great game out here tonight.
And a well-played game by both teams, and there's Alston. He's close to a first down, and they're going to have to mark the ball because I'm not sure if he actually got it. And that's pretty close to a first down there. They're going to end up having to mark this one, I think.
I think Ross is
Ross says
first down.
He definitely got a first down. If that's the case, it'll be a first and goal.
He goes down right there.
At the right at the 7 or 8-yard line.
Over it.
He had to get near the 7.
Ooh.
What was
short.
that, Ross?
Short.
Ross said that was a first down. And he says it was a first down for Indian River. So Indian River stops the Phantoms on a 4th down and 2. Looks like, what was he, about 3 or 4 inches shy of it?
Yeah, watch where the knee comes down. Now, there's the first hash mark here.
His knee didn't come down until he was already there.
Watch. Here's where the knee comes down right there.
It was
right
a good mark.
On the first hash mark of the
Yeah, but it's where the ball is when his knee hit. The mark was good.
That drive just took 6 minutes and 1 second off this clock, Mike, as we're down to 5:43 left in the game.
So Evans and crew are back on defense now as Indian River stops them inside the 10-yard line on a 4th down play.
Comes a blitz from the backside. Watch McMillan.
Pass is completed out there to number 19. Number 16, I'm sorry. It was 19. It was 19. That's
19.
right. That's Donald Smith.
Watch. Well, McMillan comes from the backside. I thought he was going to get it.
Yeah, Batilio had enough time to get it off to number 19. He's going to get out to the 20-yard line. It's going to be a first down. So that's about a 12-yard pass play, and good for a first down. And there's our folks downstairs that are serving all the nice warm chocolate, hot chocolate and popcorn and all that other good stuff. Here's a long pass. That ball was put up for grabs, and it really should have been intercepted. It looked like it might have been number 38, Colby Goodwin, on the play, but there was only one Phantom out there with two Indian River players.
Yep. That's a 5'10" sophomore, Colby Goodwin.
Look at this.
Now, you got to remember, Colby Goodwin now playing defense, and very good. He was going to be the running back. He was the man that they were, until Alston transferred, this was the running back. And he has taken his position switch with a lot of grace and a lot of quality and gone out there and turned into one of the top defensive players on the team.
Well, timeout has been called by Indian River. 5:28 to go here in the game. The Phantoms out in front 20-0. Mike Hauser along with Paul Rowe, Brent Musgrove, Bob Killen, and Ross Carney down on the sideline, bringing you second half action here in the Eastern Region Championship game here at Darling Stadium. 20-0 Phoebus over Indian River.
There we see Susan Bowers, our camera lady, as she's all wrapped up and feeling warm. Hello, Susan. She came in here during halftime, and I tried to borrow the coat and scarf from her, but she wouldn't let me have it.
What did Scotty call Don? Dr. Don, as he goes down there and fix a...
Dr. Don.
It kept our camera from having to go 6 feet under.
You think Coach D's relaxed yet, or is he still he's still worried out there?
Well,
he's coming up with schemes, ready to go.
It's 5 minutes and 28 seconds to go here before the end of the game, and
Lord. Got a new dance there. Is that Rick? Rick. Ladies and gentlemen, we apologize. He's a professional. Please don't try this at home.
Oh, Lord. Ilio back to pass. And, I believe the ball's intercepted.
He's calling it a reception.
No, it is. It is. And it was intercepted by number 38, Colby Goodwin. He almost comes up with one to play before, and this time he takes care of it.
Well, see there, Colby, you say something good and tell folks all about this young man, and what's he do? He turns it up a notch and says, here I am.
So that's the third interception by a Phantom in this game so far, and great job cutting in front of the intended receiver. I'm speechless.
And there you see a camera shot of the Phoebus Phantoms as they're beginning to smell victory.
There's Alston. Look out. Alston may go on this one. He looks like he's dragged down at about the 2-yard line. And folks were laughing because the guys in the truck keep saying stuff. And we apologize.
The Old Point National Bank scoreboard showed the score there as you see Alston, number 22, on a breakaway run as he keeps piling it up over 100 yards.
They're about 3 yards shy of the score on that play. And I'll tell you what, Alston's having a great game. You know, don't forget, we got to pick player of the games here. We got 2 of them to choose. And
one on defense and one.
we already know that.
We have several of them, and there's some optimistic Phoebus fans right there trying to get a little start on it. That's a possibility.
First and goal now for the Phantoms at the 3-yard line. Already out in front, 20-0 over Indian River here at Eastern Region Championship game. Handoff is to the lead back, I believe, on that one.
Was that number 11? Yeah.
Was that McMillan, number 11?
That's correct.
He's going to get down inside the 1.
Here's the replay that we're going to see here as McMillan gets the handoff. He gets close to that score. There's Mr. James Bailey, one of the city's finest there on the right-hand side. Very nice young man. He's always here every game. Works with the Hampton Police Department and also with the school system. And we appreciate all that he does for us.
Here we go. Second down and goal inside the 1. There's Alston, and Alston scores his 3rd touchdown of the game from 1 yard out as the Phantoms add to that 20-0 lead now, and they're out front by a score of 26-0. Here's a replay of that from the ground. What a job our replay people are doing, and Mike Nowinski, great job down there being able to gather up those. Mike and his staff, that's exactly correct. So as Matt Cole attempts the extra point attempt here out of the hold of Taj Boyd. Kick is blocked again.
He has not had a good night, has he?
Well, that's the one thing that Indian River has done well tonight, and that's to block extra points. But again, the Phantoms are well in control of this game. Now lead 26-0 with 4:21 to go here in the contest. This is the championship game, as the winner will travel to the northern region to play Stonebridge. Here's a replay of the touchdown by Alston.
See Sean Alston in for the score. And that's a WHCS Channel 46 score for the Phoebus Phantoms.
26
See the excited crowd there.
Ross, you got something down there for us. Go ahead.
Yeah, guys, I just heard some of the Phoebus faithful here said to let Cinderella know that the pumpkin's here. So I guess that means it's midnight and it's time to go home. So take it for what it's worth. But it's a great thing. Back-to-back Eastern Region champions and going for back-to-back state championships.
Exactly.
I think the entire community should be proud of the entire Hampton City school system and get behind these Phantoms next week. And if they can travel up to watch them, then they should. If not, stay tuned and we'll be showing it.
Exactly correct, Ross. And no offense to anybody, but I think it's okay if I do this now. Is it all right?
Go ahead.
Turn out the lights. The party's over. Phoebus is going to the championship game.
Well, they're going to the state semis.
And the championship game. You don't think they're going to lose the next one, do you?
Well,
I don't.
If we remember correctly, last year during the state semifinals.
What do you mean, if we remember?
No.
Correctly,
The state semifinals last year. Remember that game?
They won.
That was a thriller. That was a overtime. Was it overtime field goal by Matt Cole to win that game to send them to the state championship game?
But the point is,
they won the game.
That's correct. See? Turn out the lights. The party's over. Boom.
Guess Hee Haw ought to give you a contract.
And you know what else is still nice about this football game is we see the the blue and white and gold stripes out on the field. Those graphics are still out there as we see the replay here, the pass, the catch. Still have great graphics.
So Indian River have a second down and 3 here. Pass play, and there is a flag down on the field as that flag was thrown by the line judge way back up here at the Phantom 45-yard line. The ball was complete. It's down to about the 34, but we'll have to wait to see what the penalty is.
That's about the deepest penetration that Indian River has had. I think that's maybe the first time they've gotten into Phoebus territory.
And we have what looks like I don't know, they're talking to Indian River. Holding against Phoebus is declined. That'll be a first down all the way down 30. Here's a scenario for you. Oh, you got something down there for us, Ross?
Yeah, guys, I've got Mr. Davis right here with us, and I'd like to know, what do you think of this victory that's about to occur tonight?
Another sweet victory for the Phoebus Phantoms. We've got a road trip coming.
Well, that means I guess we got to get a convoy together and get ready to go.
Look at those fans up there. They're ready.
And they braved this cold weather. This was a packed house on this home side. We should let everybody know.
Fans, and we're headed to Northern Virginia.
That's right. That's right. Thank you so much for joining us.
You're welcome.
All right. All right, guys.
And Ross, that's a proud father right there because his son Robbie Davis is the center on this team.
As we will be giving the players of the game here in a couple of minutes, or here shortly. Here's a scenario. Watch this.
Here's the replay. Look at this. Just off his hands. Almost, but not quite.
Here's a scenario. We have to travel to the northern region next week to play in the state semis, right?
Get cold up there?
Probably as cold as it is here. And let's look at this. An incomplete pass. Let's look at this.
If they almost intercepted,
they're going to go up there and they're going to win next Saturday, right? And then they have to travel to Charlottesville for the state championship game. Yeah. Here's a scenario people might want to consider. Everybody cross their fingers that they have a flat-out snowstorm, because guess where the backup stadium is for the state title game? If they can't play in Charlottesville.
Here.
Right here.
Here?
Right here.
Snow for Charlottesville. Snow for Charlottesville. Snow for Charlottesville.
Let it snow, let it snow.
Oh, the weather outside is frightening, but the fire is so delightful.
So that is the case. If it, when Phoebus wins and they go to the state title game, if they advance to the state title game and they can't play it at Scott Stadium because of the weather, it's supposed to come here because Darla Stadium is the backup.
You're right there, baby. Phoebus, number 1. Oh, there's
no.
a Hampton. there's a Hampton supporter there coming in, but at least he's here supporting Phoebus.
That's right. I saw a few of them up here. 3rd down and 10. Get back to the game. Tilio to pass, overthrown. It wasn't even that was. Here's the players of the game, folks, for tonight.
And the players are, on defense, Reed Evans, who has simply been all over the place, batting down passes, intercepting passes, pressuring everybody. He's intercepted 2. And on offense, a guy who's just directed this team explicitly, wonderfully, Taj Boyd. He has been precision, exquisite tonight. Taj Boyd has completed 8, I think, out of 11 for 120-plus yards tonight. Just a great game by both these 2 young men. Taj Boyd will be back, and Reed Evans, of course, a senior this year. Congratulations, gentlemen, both of you. Excellent
4th down
game.
and 10, and the wide receiver on the far side left about two spots before. What was that spot? Did you see the spot?
Yes, I did. As we watch the Old Point National Bank scoreboard,
you'll see the replay, and he moved just a tad early. 5-yard penalty will cost them, and it'll be 4th down and 15 now as the ball's back to the Phantom 39-yard line. I believe this is the deepest penetration by Indian River.
Getting some exercise
all the entire game as Sean Austin is keeping his legs warm.
Maybe that's what we need up here. We'll keep us warm. We can ride the bicycle. Come on, you can do it too. Just ride that thing. Boom, boom, boom.
Got you covered.
If you got me covered, you bring me a blanket.
I hear you. Tilio now being flushed out of the pocket.
Forced out of bounds, short of the yardage necessary for the 1st down, so the Phantoms will take over 1st and 10 at their own 31.
So Indian River can't do anything with the football, and they'll turn it over to the Phoebus Phantoms with 3 minutes and 20 seconds left. And there you see Phoebus number 1 right there. You are exactly correct, young lady. These are the Phantoms that are going to go back to the championship series, and I'm saying they're going all the way. They are going to be the next state champions. My partner over here, Mike, having a good laugh at somebody's expense. As the Phantoms will take over here, and folks, you're going to see run right here. It'll be all right.
It'll be all right. 3 minutes to go now. 26-0, Phoebus out in front.
Here you see the replay as Austin gets the ball. He'll just pick up the yardage and keep the legs moving. All the Phantoms want to do now is take time off the clock and not give Indian River a chance to get the ball too many more times. With 3 minutes, you got to figure they may get it once. Phoebus gets a 1st down or 2, and that's going to be it, folks. So watch Alston as he gets the ball, and they'll probably mix it up.
There goes Alston right up the middle. And outside of the 40-yard line to about the 42. That'll bring up a third down and short for the Phantoms.
We watch this replay. It's a quick drive as it looks like number 30, either number 30 or 35 on that. Looked like Demetrius Ward or Battle. I'm not sure. I couldn't catch the number. It was either 30 or 35. I apologize, gentlemen. One of you did get the ball. It's number 30 in the backfield now, Demetrius Ward, who ran that last play. Oh, somebody's telling me 38 was that one. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Colby Goodwin, the running back. There we go.
And that run is good for a first down for the Phantoms.
And that's exactly who it is. They just showed a picture of him on the screen. And that's another Old Point National Bank first down. Old Point National Bank proudly serving the needs of Hampton Roads since 1923.
First and 10 from the Phantoms' 48-yard line.
1 minute and 30 seconds left in the game here at Darling Stadium. It is Friday night, November the 23rd. This is the regional championship.
26-0. Phantoms out in front. And that is another good run by the Phantoms number 38, Colby Goodwin, as he gets the ball outside of midfield into Indian River territory down to about the 49.
And we see him take it across the blue and gold lines there. Once again, we'd like to thank the field graphics engineer, John Johnston, on tonight's print display all around the field. The Phoebus colors as well as the footballs. And I liked the Phoebus in the end zone, the words, and Phantoms in the other end zone. That was professional. Turn out the lights. The party's over.
As the clock continues to run, down to 35 seconds here in the game.
Once again, we'll thank our crew tonight. On cameras, Nate Braxton, Susan Bowers, Ron Baton, and Steve Fryer. On the crane and camera, Rick Powell and Gene Wheeler. Our graphics and animation, Andy Foley. Slow motion instant replay, Mike Nowinski. The camera control operator, Sarah Myers. Production and audio assistant, Renee Camden. The audio and chief engineer and medical assistant, Don Scharaus. The director and producer, Scotty Bowers. I'm Paul Rowe, along with Mike Hauser. In the booth with us, Brent Musgrove and Bob Killen. And Ross Carney, the camera buster on the sideline.
The camera buster. All right, Ross. Oh, Dr. Don had to come to the rescue, though. So after the 5-yard penalty by the Phantoms here towards the end of the fourth quarter, it is a second down and 12 for the Phantoms. And they'll probably just kneel it, and that's what Taj Boyd does, and they get down. He's going to have to run it another time, I think. If he gets down to 25 seconds, he won't have to, and that'll be it. As we're down to about 20 seconds, there won't be another play run in this game as the Eastern Region champions have been crowned here at Darling Stadium. The Phoebus Phantoms win this one by a score of 26-0 over the Braves from Indian River. Congratulations to Coach Bill D and his coaching staff, and what a great job that the Phoebus Phantoms has done. And everybody's got to congratulate the Indian River Braves, too, because they came in here as the definite underdogs and played pretty well for the most part.
Oh, they played marvelous, Mike, and as I spoke about it earlier, the sportsmanship on the field was just tremendous tonight. These guys from Indian River and Phoebus really congratulated one another after almost every play. And even though Indian River was an underdog, they didn't play like it. They played like they were out here for a championship, and they were. Unfortunately, they came up against a team that was just a little better than they were tonight.
Hey, something else that we don't normally do either is congratulate the officiating crew, because they did a great job out there as they let these two individual teams play really well.
All right, let's take a look at this last touchdown as we'll see Alston go into the end zone, and this pretty much sealed it right there. That was the one that put it away. Sean Alston with another fabulous game, leading or helping to lead the Phantoms to this championship. You have a good right to celebrate. Ladies and gentlemen, you've been watching WHCS Channel 46 Sports. Paul Rowe along with
Mike Hauser, Brent Musgrove, Ross Carney, and Bob Killen here at Darling Stadium. Final score, the Phoebus Phantoms 26, the Indian River Braves 0. Eastern Region champions, back-to-back years for the Phoebus Phantoms.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's WHCS Channel 46 sports broadcast has been sponsored by many wonderful sponsors throughout Hampton, and we'd like to acknowledge all of them at this time and thank them for their sponsorship this year. So, ladies and gentlemen, here they are, tonight's sponsors of our WHCS Channel 46 Championship broadcast. Tonight's telecast is sponsored by Zooms. We're proud to have David Allen and Zoom sponsoring us again this year. Zooms with locations throughout the peninsula to serve you. By Kelly's Tavern, family dining with 2 locations on the peninsula, at Port Warwick off Jefferson Avenue in Newport News, and their newest location on Coliseum Drive at Mercury Boulevard in Hampton. By Tidewater Team Sports, located at 11839B Cannon Boulevard in Oyster Point, Newport News. Tidewater Team Sports is your one-stop sports headquarters for screen printing, embroidery, uniforms, and apparel. Call 594-0411 and talk to David Chubb or Terry McNamara at Tidewater Team Sports. By Solar Lighting of Virginia. It's the dawn of a new day lighting system. Experience the sun in a whole new light with breakthrough technology for higher performance in lighting. A day lighting miracle in just 2 hours. Brighter, smarter, better. Call Solar Lighting of Virginia at 800-774-7865 or visit them on the web at www.solarlightingva.com. Mention WHCS and you'll receive a discount. By Old Point National Bank. For more than 20 years, Old Point has helped keep the score shining at Darling Stadium. And now, we're happy to have purchased new scoreboards that will keep another generation of fans informed. Old Point National Bank. Proudly serving the needs of Hampton Roads since 1923. By Hampton Chevrolet Jeep Mazda, located on Mercury Boulevard in the heart of Coliseum Central. For your next automotive purchase, call Hampton Chevrolet Jeep Mazda at 838-5450. By Jack's Family Restaurant, located at the corner of Pembroke Avenue and Woodland Road, Jack's is a local family favorite. By Affordable Mortgage, give Lee Moore, Senior Loan Officer, a call at 873-0663 for all your mortgage needs. By Abbott Realty. Contact Perry Pilgrim or any of the agents at Abbott Realty by calling 827-1364. By Hampton's Commissioner of Revenue, Ross Mugler, and Hampton City Treasurer, Molly Joseph Ward. Proud to be sponsors of Hampton City Schools student athletes. By Anna's Italian Restaurant, with 2 locations to choose from. One on Settlers Landing Road in downtown Hampton, and the original on Pembroke Avenue in the Buckrow Shopping Center. And in part, by Eric Thompson, Realtor with William E. Wood. Call Eric to buy or sell a home or property. Give him a call at 881-2004. And by Park Lawn Wood Funeral Home, located at 2551 North Armstead Avenue, Nancy Staten, Director.
All right, here, we're going to show the awards here at ceremony here as Coach Bill D. of the Phoebus Phantoms receives the Eastern Region Championship trophy here from the Eastern Region representative down on the field. As Coach Bill D. and his troops have taken care of business here again for the 2nd year in a row in the Eastern Region, and will head to state competition starting next Saturday, where they will play Stonebridge, a 27-14 victory this afternoon over Thomas Edison from Loudoun County, Northern Region sections of Virginia. And that's where the Phoebus Phantoms will travel next Saturday afternoon. It looks to be a 1 p.m., 1 o'clock in the afternoon contest at this point, as the Phantoms will go back and defend last year's state championship game.
And if you don't think these young boys are excited, look at them there. These guys are excited. They're pumped. They are pumped, and they should be. They've had a whale of a season, and they played a fabulous playoffs.
All right, folks, so we'll wrap it up here tonight and see you again next week as we travel to watch the Phantoms play the team out of Stonebridge, Virginia. And the final score here at Darling Stadium was the Phoebus Phantoms 26 and the Indian River Braves nothing. Mike Hauser along with Paul Rowe, Brent Musgrove, Bob
Bob
Killen and Ross Carney. So long, everybody, from Darling Stadium.
WHCS Channel 46 Sports. Good night.